Greetings, my fellow Narcadians. It is I, Talasar Gelden, Master of the Narcadian Order, and welcome back to Pathfinder Adventure Path Reign of Winter, Book number 5, Rasputin Must Die. And we were reading down a player today. Zygarde is not feeling very good, so you got to deal with that. Shouldn't be a big problem though. Remember, links will be downloaded to my Patreon and to my Discord channel, so feel free to come on by to my Discord and become a member of the Narcadian Order. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe my videos. We will now be joining everyone else. Go.
Last time on Reign of Winter, Sahu got into a DPS race with a 3-headed dragon.
And won.
And won! And fucking won!
Barely, I might add.
I don't care. I get to add another dragon to the side of the X-wing.
And I think Lord Morius was a bit embarrassed at the fact that he didn't catch on that Lexi was actually like a dragon the whole time.
Yeah,
like,
I really didn't win on the perceptions there.
that's kind of like his little deal is, detecting magic shenanigans, and he kind of slipped that one.
I did not see Cidian doing anything, so I actually don't see anybody else doing anything, actually. So
Anywho, are we, what else did we do last session? Oh, we cleared the gas camp.
Yep.
Cleared the gas camp, you, killed a dragon disguised as a little boy and caused a little girl to faint.
Oh yeah, she's super traumatized.
Yeah, coming in like the Kool-Aid guy, all red.
It definitely look a bug at her.
We're gonna need to spend some time talking to her and.
Okay, look. I don't know about you guys, but I am not a therapist. I didn't take any ranks in profession therapy, so
what's a therapist?
What's a paladin?
I don't know.
Only 2 people in this entire conversation is ever gonna get that.
I'm one of them.
And I'm the other.
It's kind of cold out here. Yeah, on the outside of this inside joke. Anywho, Shaiveen, Lord Morius, Sahu, y'all probably want to heal yourselves up to full. Do any of you need to make changes to your spell list before y'all rest?
Yes, and I need to go actually back to the hut and back. But I need to look at my spell first to make sure I can do. I think if I leave this place, it's gone.
I'm gonna take a look over Iggy's spells to see if there's anything I might want to change out.
Please.
You got any suggestions?
No, but please.
Weird flex, but okay.
Zygarde's spell choice.
Mm-hmm.
Spell choice leaves a lot to be desired, let's just say. God, is every streamer that I follow having migraines or headaches tonight?
I'm half tempted just to throw every spell in his spell book over here, since he technically has access to every single spell, being a cleric. So
we know.
It's just, do I want to make a mess of this though? That's the question.
Nah, try not to wreck his token.
Right.
He's got to come back to it next session and use it, so try not to disrupt it too much.
Yeah. So, let's take a look at cleric spells here. Cleric Oracle. Alright. And then we'll take a look by level. Anyway, you guys can continue while I'm looking this over.
Skull, I think you're not the only one. Looking at Magnificent Mansion, I don't see it saying that it automatically is dispelled when you leave.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, so I can go, come back.
Lord Morius, you should heal yourself.
Yeah. I thought Oh, there it is. Rod of Echo. I knew I bought that.
But, hey, I thought I was saying earlier, I noticed my quick bar is gone today.
No, there's a little, you see the little file icon next to everyone's name? There's an up arrow on it. Click on that, it'll pop back down again. You probably have it minimized.
No, I'm not seeing anything. Where am I looking, sorry?
Okay, so down in the lower left-hand corner where you see everyone's login.
Yeah.
Okay, next to that, there should be a little oval with that little file icon in there with an arrow. With an arrow.
Yeah, that's my macro bar, but normally I have like a quick bar with like my attacks and stuff.
Oh, look up top, underneath the camp in Tavern Town.
Yeah, that's where there should be. Yeah, up there at the top screen.
It's not there today, is what I'm saying.
Really, because it's there for us. That's weird.
Do you have your token selected? Which might sound silly, but...
Yeah.
Huh.
It doesn't work for Shaiveen or Purrserverence.
That is... Huh.
That's...
I mean, yeah, that's weird because it works for us. Interesting.
Works for your characters on my side.
Try refreshing.
Yeah, nothing should have changed as far as that goes.
Nope.
I'm trying refreshing.
No, you were logged in, so I don't know what the...
Yeah, that's super weird.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna mess around with his spell list right now. Looking over what he currently has in his being prepared or whatnot, it doesn't look too bad.
No, I mean, some of the stuff that he's got, I've been,
Being into
really,
him,
digging into, but there's still a lot of... there's still a lot of weird choices on there.
Yeah, I mean, since I'm not a cleric main player, I'm not well versed in some things, so I'll leave it as is.
Well, you can, I'm sure you know, spontaneously convert any of them to cure spells.
Yeah, that I do know.
That should cover you for the most part.
Okay. Alright. Sorry. I was just fixing something. Fixing a lot, actually, but for some reason I did not have my Rod of Echo that I just bought.
Echo.
That's up to 6th level spells, right? Is that regular Rod?
Regular Rod goes up to 6, lesser 3rd, and greater Rod goes up to 9th.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I can echo my contingency spell. So
you can, but just keep in mind you can only have one up at a time.
Yeah, I know. Or you mean one echo at a time? So
one contingency spell active at a time.
yeah, but what I'm saying is if I do it in the morning, if it brings it down, then I can echo it and put it back up. So
Yep, definitely, absolutely can do that. I use echoing spell a ton. I've just seen people kind of try to stack contingencies, so I wanted to not surprise you if that's what you were doing.
yeah, no. I'm still going to use the same contingency, 2 hits, bubble up.
Hey, refresh works.
Because, yeah, no healer very well or minimal heal. And, yeah. And I'm squishy. And there's no hero points anymore. But I definitely need to go back to buy something. So I will. Well, I don't know if he can buy right away.
What are you trying to buy?
My,
You can message me if you want. But
no, my amulet again. So. Yeah.
I super don't remember what you're talking about.
You're also really low for me today.
Am I low for everybody else?
No, you're fine for me.
Okay, I'll just boost you on my end.
Maybe a little, but it's not like so it's problematic. Of course, I always have you at 100%.
Yeah. Well, I switched headphones over the since the last time, so
Oh, that okay.
need to buy another one. So I will spin the spell. I know I have this. There it is. Do I have to go out? Yeah, I will tell people I'll be right back, I guess, and then I will teleport myself to the hut, so I can go and at least put in the purchase for that said item. So that's what I'm going to do. I will cast Vanish on myself before I teleport, just in case.
Okay.
Vanish. And then teleport. And here goes the awesome thing.
The most entertaining part about teleport, yeah.
Perfect. On target. Look at that. Super on target.
That was an absolute troll.
Beautiful. And then I will place the order. I don't know if he has one or not. Probably not. But...
yeah, let's see. High or low?
High's good. Yeah. I meant low. Low is good. No. Yeah, of course.
Not on hand. You'll have to go shopping for it.
All right. I'll go shopping for it. Or he'll go shopping for it, whatever. So.
Yeah, you can pick it up tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds great. And then I will teleport back. Boom. There you go. And I'm back.
And did you enjoy... I make sure I gotta use the right voice here. Did you enjoy your little shopping trip?
Yes and no. Yeah. I put it in order. It's not there yet. So, yep. Gotta wait a day. Yeah.
Well, I think all that's left to clear is the south portion of the camp, right?
Yep. And, are we ready to rest, basically? So.
We already did in the mansion.
No, he was doing this that night.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got confused in the timeline.
Yeah. And there's also the question of what are you going to do with the girl?
She's in this big, huge mansion, so you can have her room.
Well,
Oh, you mean when she wakes up? Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
I mean, at present, there's only one person that has the ability to even talk to her.
Yep.
I burst through the door like a giant plant monster and made ooga booga noises.
Hey, Mike, your token's a little askew.
Is it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's
Oh,
Hey, you're not quite upright. That's interesting.
I must have. What?
Had a rough night? Got a little tilted, did we?
Yeah, go. Who did that? Who did that?
It was me. You can hold shift down and use the scroll wheel to adjust your orientation.
That's what it was. Shift.
Man, if it was that easy to adjust your orientation.
Yeah, well, you know.
I'm all killed her. Alright,
Also, heal yourself.
I did heal myself.
Your health bar is still at like a third for me.
It's topped off on my screen.
Yeah.
Why is everything a problem for me today?
I don't know.
Alright, I'm just ignoring all problems and going forward. We're just going forward. If I have wrong information about anything at any point, please tell me.
You have wrong information.
Don't we all? Okay. Well, let me know when you're done adjusting your spell list for the day.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, for relevance, there is one long building in the top half you haven't checked out, as well as several of the outposts on the wall, and there is on the southern half basically the entire part.
Which long building in the northern part did we not go through?
The one next to the one and below the other one.
Wait. This one? Oh, it's X. That one?
Nope. Follow the cursor if you can.
Okay.
Okay, I'm following. Follow. Oh, yeah, because we hid out in this one while we took care of the guys in there.
Yep. And of course, there's the guard towers all over the place.
Yeah, don't care about them.
Guard towers are a bad spot for us. That narrow ladder entryway and those arrow slits for windows, it's not a good time.
Mm-mm.
Alright, well, where do you guys want to go first?
Well, first, we need to figure out what we're going to do with the kid.
Yep.
Yeah, I will admit that's probably an important detail for us to work out.
Yes.
Sell her to the genie?
Sell her to the genie. Wow. I just felt my alignment shift. And alignment doesn't matter, damn it!
So you were into it then?
Not cool. I'm shopping while these people are discussing this. That's what I'm doing. Not there.
Blocking it out.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we should probably at least let her sleep this off, and then taunt her in the morning if we can. And frankly, the only one of us who can is Morius. He seems to be the only one who seems to understand this guttural language these savages speak.
remind me again what languages you speak?
I speak Abyssal, Common, of course, the Common Tongue, of course, Draconic, Dwarven, and Elven.
Right. I wouldn't be talking about guttural there, devil man.
Direct hit.
I'll have you know that there are some elegant nuances to Abyssal.
No, there really isn't. It all sounds like gobbledygook to me. And before you ask, no, I only speak Common and Bullet. And there's a dragon out there that doesn't like what I have to say.
Your Thum was very powerful.
So what should we do with the kid? We can't exactly have her tagging along.
That is, yeah. I mean, we could certainly bring her along. There's nothing wrong with that. Sure.
So how many times have we gotten killed, brought back to life?
I know myself quite a few.
Mm-hmm,
Although I seem to have gotten over that condition.
You know, I don't want to even know how you did that, but...
Well, perhaps we should at least wait and actually speak with her and see what she wants. And perhaps she'll be able to illuminate us further as to what's going on.
Yes. The obviously traumatized child who can barely speak to us.
Well, I could always make her more pliable.
Okay, if you try that again and she turns out to be a dragon, after we deal with it, I'm taking you out. Because that's not working for you.
What if his power isn't actually to mind control people, and it's actually to turn people into dragons?
I mean, one,
Cidian.
that would be a really awesome ability to have, and so I don't think that works that way. And furthermore,
Cidian, turn me into a dragon.
You see Sahu just thinking about it for a second here.
I really, and frankly, the odds of that happening twice in a row, I really remote.
And anyways, when I was her age, I was lost in the wilderness and took care of myself. And the animals took care of me. So I vote we leave her in the wilderness and let her become a druid.
Yes, but you're weird.
And also, you have magic. I don't think she does.
The forest will teach her magic.
Not how that works. At least
That's not how it works.
Okay, well, for starters,
I like this whole philosophy that Shaiveen has. It's just, let nature sort it out. Survival of the fittest,
Okay, so me and my brother, even though Rahu has that, his shadow weapons, we don't have magic. Our mother and our sister have magic. You see where I'm going with this?
I don't think magic is something you have or you don't have. I think magic is just something that is.
I mean, we could always ask the girl if she has magic.
After everything she's been through, she probably wouldn't even admit to it. Repress it deep down inside until one day it boils over and destroys everything in her life. That is why we should leave her in the woods to become a druid.
While I like your enthusiasm on that, I'm pretty sure there aren't any woods left around here.
What do you mean there's no... They took down the woods? What kind of monster takes down the woods?
These people, apparently.
on a totally unrelated note, do you know why you can't trust druids?
Go for it.
So many of them are just plants.
Well, guys.
Oh!
It was fun. It was fun playing with you, but that's it. I'm done. Good night. Auf Wiedersehen. Sayonara. I'm done.
Oh, I wish I had the ability to post gifs in here, because that's that emotional damage gif all over.
It's pretty premium.
Wonder if you can post gifs in Foundry. Hold on here.
Can I post a Rider Kick gif? Or should I go grab my belt?
Although, to be perfectly honest, perhaps it's a power we should not use. Because that would be abused so easily.
I don't know what you're talking about. No,
Alright.
ever abuse that.
No one ever would.
Yeah, no one.
I just read the thing about turning us into dragon.
Well, apparently there is a package for it. Okay.
Of course there is.
There's a package to link the chat box with Giphy. Huh.
Something for later. Anywho, we rest. Lord Morius attempts to chat with the child, hopefully.
Sure.
Because no one seems to be in favor of leaving her in the woods, so...
No, not even.
And I don't think Lord Morius will let Cidian mind control her. And I doubt Purrserverence is a comforting kitty.
No, sorry.
I mean, not necessarily dominant, so I have charm, though.
Oh, that's a great idea. Charm her while she's asleep. Then when she wakes up, she'll be your friend. That doesn't sound bad at all, does it?
I mean, well, I'm a vampire, so right or wrong are kind of different, or kind of skewed differently, so...
I'm still shopping.
I could turn into a kitten and try and therapy kitten her.
Yeah, no, I don't have charm as an ability. I don't think it's even on my spell list. I mean, I don't think I have it. You would think that being able to charm would be something vampires can do.
I'll be right back, guys.
But yeah, no, I don't even have the spell, so fuck it. No,
Good. Oh, I mean, did I say that? I guess I'll come back from my excursion. Yeah, so I will be here. Ask questions, I guess. Where is this?
All right.
what is that supposed to be?
Disappointing, apparently. It's really sad when even the old styles of art don't function.
I mean, okay, it's supposed to be like an ASCII thing, I can see, but I'm.
Alright, I'm back.
I can't parse that.
Where are you?
It was simple. It was a dice, six-sided dice.
Yeah, I see the dice.
Oh, I see it now. Now that you've said it. I just had to look at it in a different way.
Six-sided dice.
Yeah, a regular dice.
like one of those magic pictures. You gotta let your eyes unfocus and tilt your head a little.
See, it looks like this,
Oh, okay. I see. It's on his. I see. It's on his side. Okay.
But instead of numbers, it's got the dots.
Okay. I see now. I see how this is supposed to work now. Okay. Huh.
Okay, so how are we doing?
Imagination.
Let's get the
Imagination.
I think we have. I think we have totaled around enough here.
So Lord Morius tries to talk to the kid, who may or may not wake up.
I guess I will talk to the kid.
Are you going to wait for the child to wake up or wake the child up?
I will wait.
Imagine just throwing away all the shenanigans he wanted to do.
Hey, I was just waiting to see what kind of shenanigans you guys are gonna do.
I'm not doing any shenanigans. I'm trying to be the helpful person. And it's not happening.
Shaiveen's probably just gonna chow down on the Magnificent Mansion's food supplies.
Yeah.
Right, so currently she has been placed in a room of her own, yes? Or she's still lying in the entryway?
I think we know.
We definitely put her into a room of her own.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would put her in a room.
Alright, so she wakes up after a couple of hours, and who all is in the room?
Should I be a kitten?
In her bedroom? I don't think any of us would be in her bedroom.
I wouldn't be. I'd be basically just guarding the front door to make sure she doesn't run out here, but other than that, she has free reign. So.
I mean, it's a mage's magnificent mansion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, unless you're a kobold, walking around on a Spinosaurus.
I am not.
I thought Joey was a Tyrannosaurus.
No, Joey was a Spinosaurus.
Oh, my bad.
So, she wakes up in a room alone with the door closed. Okay. Let me see here.
Door closed.
I mean, she can't go anywhere.
Lord Morius listens at the door like a scorned lover awaiting his wife.
No.
I mean,
I don't know why I'm doing this.
we are already very borderline here, so.
You know, to be, I'm just not gonna. I'm not saying it.
If we go any further, we'll have to change game systems.
Nope.
No, I'm not making the joke.
Yeah, no, I'm not making that joke either.
Seems like leaving her in the woods was the kindest option.
So, Lord Morius, you hear thumping around inside the room.
Okay.
Swear to God, man, if she blows herself up.
I will yell out, basically telling her she can come out whenever she's ready. So.
Okay.
Her first encounter with a human would probably be better rather than, a tiefling or a.
Yeah. So, who all is hanging out in the hallway waiting for her to open the door, other than Lord Morius?
Not me.
No, I'm out. I'm probably in the study. I'm assuming you have a study in here.
I will be in the banquet hall, enjoying the banquet.
There are no there's no study anywhere. You are given a slab of stone. That's all you're given there.
It's a magnificent mansion, not a magnificent prison.
I get to choose how it says. So if I want to make it a prison, it's going to be a prison for you guys.
Fine, then I will summon my own banquet.
No, it will be a lavish mansion, and yes, there is a study and stuff. So
That's beautiful. I just keep now I'm picturing Lord Morius creating cells for everybody, and every night he sleeps in the mansion. He locks his own door and rocks back and forth.
Yep, pretty much.
We're all just Lord Morius's pets.
I'm Rick.
Yeah,
It's gonna be my
Sahu.
nice prison, away from all you wretched people.
You keep,
Sahu-
your own,
Lock all the doors.
you keep your own private toilet too.
That's right.
We have fun here. Sahu
Hello,
will
everyone.
also be in the
Nice to meet
banquet
you.
hall, enjoying. What are we doing? Breakfast right now?
I feel like Shaiveen is just consuming all courses.
All right. Well.
So.
That's my magnificent mansion.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, okay. I guess not.
I'm picturing a sandwich.
It's already
where
there.
the bottom,
It's already there.
4 eggs Benedict, and then there's a whole ham in the middle, and then there's a pizza on top. And that's the sandwich.
I just need to find Carl. Carl.
Carl! That is an amazing Benedict. That, you know, I wish could exist in real life, but it probably can't.
The fact that the pizza on top of it sort of ruins the whole thing.
Alright,
Alright.
so eventually, after several additional minutes,
Mhm.
she comes to the door and opens it.
Okay. I will say hello again.
Her chin tilts upward slightly, and she greets you formally.
Okay.
Ah, the heirs of nobility.
I will greet her formally as well. Let me roll my. Would be nobility. Haha. Well, I guess. What's the wah wah for?
If you're trying to woo her just diplomacy,
Diplomacy? Okay.
you definitely have all the ranks possible, but yeah.
There you go. Just being formal as well, just trying to be diplomatic about it, and tell her, though, sorry about everything that's happened. Apparently, Ed Dragon was mimicking your brother. Unfortunately, that probably means you are the survivor.
She replies, I am not sure that is true.
Well, hopefully there's still hope. We can still search for your brother.
That's not what I meant.
Okay.
I remember my entire family being killed on a firing line, myself included.
Oh. So,
Oh no!
Okay.
So we're in this. So that did happen. Okay.
Uh-oh. Here I thought I could become a friend to the Kingdom of Russia.
Well, I mean,
Oh
you
Oh,
could.
then who are you then?
I mean, you could just. There may be some necromancy shenanigans in play.
well. Mm-hmm.
I remember it now vividly, but I don't know how I'm here.
Did she look like our friend? I assume not.
Your friend?
The other person that quote came back from a death.
Oh, he's asking. I know what he's asking.
Yeah, I'm missing it. I'm too tired.
Pull out the garlic and say,
Oh my God. She does not look particularly pale, and she has no aversion to garlic.
Well, not pale for Russian.
And honest to God, have you ever met a Russian who has an aversion to garlic?
No.
a vampire.
I've never met one who even liked garlic, so I don't know.
Garlic is like part of the food of the motherland. What are you talking about?
If you had, would you know anyways? Anywho, she continues, I remember that, and then the next thing I can recall, Rasputin was standing over me.
Interesting. Who else is out here with me? Is anybody?
Just you.
Just you. We're letting you, so that we don't traumatize the woman.
I mean, being killed and brought back to life is... I don't know how much more traumatized you can get.
You could be killed and brought back to life, reunite with your brother, and then find out he was a... Never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, and then watch your brother get turned into, well,
Dragon bone soup.
yeah, pretty much by a gun-toting maniac and a plant monster.
Well, I will advise her there are some magical forces that can bring people back from the death, so maybe that's what happened. Who knows? Happy that you are alive at this point, anyway, or as far as I can tell.
As far as I can tell, too. But alone now.
Well, as a group here, we can watch over you, and there's plenty of food here. I show the spread of food. If you're hungry, eat as much as you want or as little as you want. This mansion is secured.
I
There
think...
are other people in here, of course. You've seen them all, of course, my party members. But the mansion is yours, basically.
The monsters.
Yes, the other monsters. So,
I mean, okay, yeah, that might be...
Yeah, okay.
I mean, look,
I would have put good monsters in front of it, but after a while, no, never mind, just monsters. Got it.
If I may, you're one monster short of having a full Pokemon team.
Oh, I am. I'm Ash.
we used to have a full Pokemon team.
Yeah, that checks out.
A couple Pokemon have been released back to the wild.
Yeah.
So,
Be free, Butterfree.
so Resilient Spear is like the Pokemon ball. You can find a way to throw them. That'd be perfect.
Resilient Spear plus Telekinetic Charge?
Yeah.
Shaiveen, I choose you.
Wait, which spell lets me take somebody and crush them down into a fist-sized ball?
Yeah, there you
Companion.
I want that spell. That's a...
go. That's a cool spell.
Fairy Companion.
Well, they get saving throws, of course, because when you throw it at them, to catch them the first time, and then they get shrunk down, and then you can release them later on. I mean, there is an item that kind of does that. Is it a flask of whatever? There's a flask, I think, that traps monsters.
It's a unique magical item using a mythic reduced person.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so she looks very confused by all this talk of Pokemon.
As she should be.
Copyright strike.
Food can wait. There are things you want to know, yes?
Yes.
Ask.
Tell me everything.
Reveal your secrets to me!
Yeah, reveal all secrets to me.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, it's been a while since I've played this. I don't remember what to ask.
Well, she'll take you at your word on the first part. Here's what I know about the situation. And probably the first thing you need to know is that according to what Rasputin told me, he is my actual father.
Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen.
I don't know that I believe him. He is... Before this happened, he was a monk at the court and held in high regard up until his apparently failed assassination. Since then, he has made certain claims, and I have lost any sense of truth and lies amidst all of this strangeness. He claimed that he brought an inventor, a engineer named Viktor Misalov, to help him create a machine in order to allow him to take his mother's powers. And afterwards, he had this engineer killed so that the engineer couldn't be used against him, so that nobody would be able to follow him into what he called the Thrice 10th Kingdom. I can tell you that when I first arrived here, the monastery in the center of this camp was in much better repair, but Rasputin activated some devices, and it appeared to... how to describe it? There were lights and colors and a strange energy humming through the air, and what looked like lightning coming from the corners of the camp striking the building, and it seemed to disappear but also to burn down at the same time.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so if we have to deal with those watchtowers, I rolled a nat 20 on my disable device check before and still failed, so I can't do anything about it.
Well, on the fact of Rasputin being your father, not in your world, who your father was the king, or was it a king? Sorry.
Tsar Nicholas II.
Tsar Nicholas II.
Uh-oh.
Or at least so my mother had led me to believe. But at this point, I do not know.
It's a shame.
Who's been there all this time for you? That's Sir Nicholas II. That's your father. It doesn't matter what Rasputin says or anybody else. I mean, who raised you?
She laughs. The servants did, of course.
Come on.
Come on, you know what I mean.
Like, work with me here. Work with me.
Who raised you? Oh, well, my nanny did. For the love of...
Yes. I know you have nannies. Yeah.
And who paid for that nanny?
Yeah, who paid for those nannies?
Follow the money trail. That's your dad.
Whoever owns up to paying for you, that's obviously your real father.
That's it. You're out of the mansion. Get out. You are the weakest link.
It's a shame they don't have paternity tests.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, yes, I know the servants, quote, raised you, but just like your mom, your mother, and your father, Sir Nicholas is the one who's been in your life all this time. That'd be like someone says that your mother's not your mother. You know, it's the same thing. You know who actually Was around. There you go. Was around for all that time, and I know your servants have been too. But you know what I mean.
We're really splitting hairs here.
I know.
Well, don't forget, Rasputin was at the court as well.
I understand he was at the court.
Regardless, it's not a problem for here or now.
Yes. Let me see here. Do you know? You said you were here whenever the monastery was activated and started, and it had all the lights and burned down the monastery somewhat with it. Do you know how long that took it? Like, was it just activated and then it happened real fast of the burning, or was it activated and it took a while for everything to be the way it is now?
The monastery itself transformed unnaturally quickly. I do know that weeks were spent in preparation of that event, much of which was working on the machinery, the devices of Victor that made it possible, but I don't know much beyond that as far as those are concerned.
Okay.
I think we have the notes on those devices, but
that's all I got. I don't think of anything else.
Perhaps if you are concerned about these devices, you could do what Rasputin appears to have done to me, and then ask him.
You mean bring back Victor? Is that what you're saying?
Rasputin did kill him afterwards, so I doubt he has much love for the man.
Yes, we could bring back Victor, but it's the point of we have to find.
Hey guys. Guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the lantern?
Yes.
How a couple people have been saying that the lantern's super important?
Yes.
I think I know where Victor is.
I was gonna see that when we're all together in the same room.
Yeah, we already knew that he was in the lantern, but it was left there, and then it wasn't there when we went back. Did you remember that?
No, I don't. God, sometimes I do hate Rain of Winter.
Alright. I will ask if my companions, if they have any other questions for you, but right now, again, just take your time. You can freely walk around. I will ask, like I said, if they have any other questions, I will let you know.
She nods. I think for now I will retire to the room again.
Sounds good.
And she does so.
Alright. And I will go around and tell everybody what's happened and the information that was given. It'd be really nice if we had a lantern.
okay. So I have a question. I'm assuming you fill us in on everything she said.
Yes.
What was that place that she called where Rasputin was going that he didn't want to be followed?
The Thrice Kingdom? Is that
Thrice 10th Kingdom.
10th Kingdom?
Anyone, can we do some knowledge rolls on what that might be?
You absolutely can. You can do knowledge history.
Okay. I don't think I have any ranks in knowledge history.
No, I haven't got that one.
Oh, it's this. That's what it is.
No. And I'm pretty sure Iggy doesn't either. No.
So I tell you about the Thrice Kingdom or whatever.
All right. Do you want this privately, or do you just want me to?
You can just throw it in chat or wherever.
The Thrice-Tenth Kingdom is a realm associated with the First World, which is to say the original plane the Fae came from.
Oh no.
The Thrice-Tenth Kingdom is a plane that Baba Yaga both controls and rules over.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, so if he were to get there, what could he do?
Anything.
Pretty much.
Oh. This is not good. This is really not good.
Because if he takes all of Baba Yaga's power, which he basically did, and goes to that kingdom, then he would have control over that area, right? That she rules and controls over, I assume?
Yes, it's also possible that he could siphon some of her literal power off and make himself a stronger, person, caster, etc.
Okay. Yeah, this is, this ain't good.
When you say not good, could we have like a, like some sort of way to, like a scale, how not good is this?
Let's just say, and we're looking at end of the world type things.
It's right there.
No.
I timed some of my gifts just right, so.
And when it comes, by the way, in regards to the lantern, in my defense, I was dead, so.
Yeah, so we were worried about you. Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying it was my fault?
Yes.
It's always your fault.
Why'd you have to go die? So come back as this.
That me dying was not my fault. If you want to levy a complaint against the creature that did this to me. Which I will be sure to do at some point here.
Okay. So, we're in a really bad spot here. Because, like I said, if Rasputin gets control of Baba Yaga's kingdom, there's no telling what he'll do. Plus,
yeah, that's true. So.
Plus, we don't know what exactly how this ties back to, back home.
Well, we already know what's going to happen. Which is what was happening when we left, which was basically eternal winter. And I'm sure I don't need to tell you that eternal winter can be very detrimental to the ecosystem.
So how do we get to the first world?
Well, there's a spell plane shift. I don't think that would do it. But I think in order for you to go anywhere with plane shift, you actually have to know where you're going. It's kind of the same thing with teleport.
Yeah.
After having looked through the notes from from Victor's construction of these strange devices, you suspect that you could reactivate them and go where you needed to go. If you can manage the check to do so.
And let's be fair, our success to failure ratio has been very skewed in one direction in that regard. Although, if we have his notes, you might know what the fuck we're doing.
I'll know what we're doing. We're fine. We can do this. I won't drop the ball like somebody, and I look right at you. And then give you a smile. I'm just messing.
And I give you an equally large smile to make sure to show off my new teeth. Just, reminding you, I have these now. Don't mess with me.
I have garlic around my neck. Don't mess with me.
Yeah, you have fangs. I have 4 tentacles, a slam attack.
I've got a gun.
I just got a book.
And I have a cat, a big fucking cat, who's also kind of an armadillo, who also eats things.
I wouldn't call that a cat. Doesn't look like a cat.
It's a cat armadillo. A catadillo.
Catadillo? Okay.
Alright, so we could presumably be able to activate the device that was built here and go to this first world.
Druids and the Fae have a long history of not getting along.
We could, and I'm gonna roll, I guess, in knowledge on first world for planes.
See,
if
because
we need
druids are
any.
kind.
Is there any resistance or anything that I would know what's on the first world that would be detrimental if we plane shift there, basically? AKA trying to be prepared.
Okay.
I have so much meta knowledge about the Fae. They're a topic I'm actually interested in. This is horrible.
Okay, so you know that wherever it is that Rasputin is trying to siphon this power, it can't be from the actual Thrice 10th Kingdom itself. He doesn't have the power, the control of the area yet. He can't go there. He has to be somewhere in between.
Oh, good.
So is there
but also there's some truly horrifying creatures that live on the first world.
Yeah, I figured.
Right back.
Truly horrifying creatures live on the first world that we could encounter. And when you're saying he's not in the, he wouldn't be in the Thrice Kingdom, he'd still be on that plane, just outside that kingdom. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying on a transitory plane.
Ah, okay.
The void, essentially, I guess.
Back. Sorry, dog had something in her mouth.
In other words, plane shift won't get you where you need to go because you're not exactly sure where it is.
Could we just use the device here to go there?
But the device should take us there, yeah. Because it transported him to wherever he was going. So if we use it and do the same location, it should theoretically put us in the same place.
So we failed to disable it, but could we use the notes and your knowledge to try and operate it?
Try.
Well, the first thing is, okay, I say I want to clear this building and then everything in this area.
Well, I don't know. Is that necessary? If we don't need to be here, what are we just wasting resources here? Like,
wasting resources.
We have a quest. This place is grindy as all hell. I would love to proceed away from here and to the other places.
So we can grind that place.
There's one thing that I think we're overlooking.
And what's that?
The princess.
We stick her in the hut.
It should not be her decision.
I mean, children get
Okay.
lost in the first world all the time. That's totally another option. In
Shaiveen,
fact, we could probably get pretty far in the first world by trading her to a Fae.
What is Shaiveen's alignment? Because this is
I'm telling you, alignment doesn't matter.
Lawful neutral.
Did you say chaotic neutral?
Lawful neutral.
Oh, lawful neutral. Neutral. That's even better.
wow, just wow. I was not expecting that.
Law of nature is still law, guys.
Hmm.
Okay, Morius, what do you want to do with the girl? You're close to her. Is Mike here?
Yeah, I was just on mute. Sorry. I was saying, there's basically two options. One, to either leave her in the hut or she comes with. I would rather her stay in the hut, of course, but it'd be her decision.
I mean, if she is if she is indeed nobility, trying to get her to do anything against her will is, well, I mean, we could. I mean, she is just a child. I mean,
And really, you've been bragging about getting her to do things against her will this whole time. Sorry, I realized how awful that sounded right after I said it.
Hashtag Cidian.
Yeah.
yes, I mean, yes, I could always do that. I mean,
But
Okay. So first order of business is I'll ask the question, I guess, to her and see what she'd rather do. So, other than that, are
although
we definitely?
maybe we should see about finding a way to recover that lantern.
I think we should recover the lantern. That was one thing that we could have done, and more than likely, it still would be here, probably down south.
Good.
That's where I would think. But
Right.
Well, I'm going to remind you all of something that I strongly suspect you've forgotten between sessions.
Yeah.
When you were asking a certain Rusalka questions about this, she pointed in two directions. One was towards the camp where you found the lantern,
Okay.
and one was also to the south, but in the other direction.
So we're talking about here.
I don't see your cursor. No, a little higher. Closer to that direction from the angle.
Okay.
I
So
guess-
the lantern was here, so it could be over here.
sure, we can search the camp.
okay, what does Anastasia want to do?
Do that.
No,
There's-
Iggy Pipes is just so you guys know, just so you guys know, I do have a spell available to me called Locate Object.
Well, why haven't you used that all this time?
You've never asked.
Hey, locate this object. There, I asked.
You just looked through the spell list, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
You have no idea how upsetting this is to me.
yes. Someone is very useful if they look at their spell list.
Because I know Cidian doesn't have that spell, and I figure, is this spell in the cleric spell list? Yes, it is. It's a second level spell. Okay.
Yep.
See, 400 feet plus 40 feet per level.
It's a long ways.
Yeah, that's dimension door distance.
Yep.
Do it.
And you've seen it and all that other stuff, so
Alright, so let me just we don't need delay poison, so just get rid of that. And let's throw in locate object.
Okay. Locate that object. Go.
Well, I can't do it from within the mansion.
All right. Now, how long does that spell last? 24 hours. Still got time.
Alright, so you're going to leave the mansion and the girl in the mansion and head out for the day to adventure. Is that correct?
Can anyone else get in the mansion, or should I leave Purrserverence to guard Anastasia?
It says this becomes invisible after I leave, but I don't know.
Like, could a vampire find it and sneak in and eat our child? Cidian, I'm asking you.
No. I'm pretty sure Lord Morius will tell you that the only selected individuals can even know of his existence and enter.
Yep.
So
Correct.
a random passerby cannot enter. Although if they know where the entrance is, it could be dispelled, I would imagine.
Yes, it
Enough for
could
me.
be.
Let's go adventuring.
Say that again.
That's good enough for me. Let's go adventuring.
That's good enough for me. Like I said, it's very rare. It's also, like I said, when the portal is shut, it's made invisible behind you. So
Yes, although detect magic is still fine, right?
yes,
Yeah, like I said.
but it's technically in this room, in the other room. So we just close the normal doors, and yeah, it might be okay. It's the best spot we got, unless we want to go all the way back to the hut. For now, I don't know.
So at one point you indicated you were going to ask her something, and then the conversation deviated drastically.
I was going to ask her if she would hut or come with us, but that was whenever we were talking about plane shifting to another world, or basically using the thing to go to another world.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll still ask, I guess. I'll go up to her, or go to her room, basically knock on the door, tell her the situation. Basically, this place should be secure, but there's no one here. There's even a more secure location. I can transport you to that location, and you can stay there pretty much indefinitely inside the hut. And you won't have to worry about anybody finding you basically there. So
She's fine with that. Basically, she expresses just a desire to have a place for her to think for a while.
yeah, there's a whole library full of books that you can sit there and read, and ponder what's going on with life. So I guess I'll be back.
Like, what is life? What is my life now?
Yeah, basically. So I will use my teleport again. God. Always fun. Oh, we didn't rest yet.
Right, did you finish switching your spells around?
Yes, I did.
Oh, it's so hard to see Iggy. His token is so blurry. Somebody should fix that.
Magic.
I don't know, guys. I'm starting to feel a little woozy too. Everything's so blurry. Don't know what is real.
He the really impressive thing was that I drugged all of you from Canada.
You should all be rested now.
Okay, so teleport.
Another 9. Wow.
That's right on target.
Every time I see that 9, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a 99.
Nope.
Breaks my heart. Okay.
So I got there so she's safe and sound in there, and I will go away now. And
Drop her off for the summer at the boarding hut.
Yeah, the boarding hut. I will show her where some of the things are that she should go. Say, stay in these types of rooms right here. Don't go too far inside the hut. Basically, like the main areas there. So.
Okay.
Right, and then I will leave. Boom. Right on target. Alright. And we can go.
Excellent. Let's do this.
Oops. I forgot to use.
So are we gonna go start our adventure now?
Yes.
Okay, before we do, I'm gonna cast Bark Skin on me in Purrserverence.
Alright, for some strange reason you cast Barkskin, and the party is inundated with howls and cries and barks for the rest of the session. As the small animal mouths appear all over your skin and start barking at people.
Oh, and before I forget again, I will use my...
Kind of fitting for a druid, really. Maybe a variant bark skin where it gives you a bonus to intimidate. Oh, don't worry about that druid with bark skin. The bark is worse than the bite.
Okay. And... yeah. So there we go, and we're outside of the mansion now, I assume?
You're free to move, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, which way do we do? Alright, so we want to do it that way.
I mean, that is where the entrance is, so...
I know.
Back in this awesome place here. Oh, and then I cast on myself because it'll last for hours. Alright.
I'm sure that will not do anything for protect your barrels. It's fine. We'll just have to shoot you with siege engines.
It's fine.
Where can I get a gun that fires siege engines?
Give me a moment.
I'm sure somebody in this party has one.
Sahu whips out a fat man.
Okay, we're gonna stop that there. You can just put that fat man away. Come on. This is, well, at least semi-family friendly.
Uh-huh.
Semi-family friendly, yeah.
Guys, I see something.
I mean, I see a dead thing.
Oh,
It's dead.
okay. I got concerned just for a second.
There. I just forgot to move a corpse out of the way. Carry on.
Alright.
I do like yeah, carry on.
Alright.
Want to just cut straight across and go where we're going? Or
I mean, we can.
or something?
We could, but we'd be passing by the Ruskula. And does anybody really feel like dealing with her? You know what? Actually, she is kind of pleasant, so. Wow, really, guys?
Alright, so which way are we going?
I mean, we could. Alright, so here's the thing.
Just go south and away from that and go down over here. I mean, go around this thing. I mean, we've already went down this way, so we can just go down this one. Reinventing the wheel here.
Just moving along.
Running.
Want to do that locate object thing now, or?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me just do this spells and second level. Let's cast locate object. Looking for the lantern.
Alright, Iggy casts detect object and feels a direction pulling at him.
Well, that's convenient. It's where we're going.
Excellent.
Oh, sorry. I think I broke up the wall.
Yeah, don't break walls.
I didn't mean to break the wall. I just meant to go alongside the building where the road went.
Likely story. Okay. Shaiveen and Purrserverence stay there. The rest of the party can move up. Once everybody is in following Shaiveen position, let me know.
Where is right there. Alright, I think this is good.
I'm good.
Alright, so as you can see, a large portion of the walls here have been destroyed. Which means let me read you the description of this area first.
Alright.
The blackened remains of a long wooden barracks building threaten to crumble to ashy ruin in the snow. The haphazard pile of burned timbers resembles a mound of charred and tangled bones. Alright.
Iggy, do you think the lantern's in here?
That's where my senses are directing us.
Okay.
It's in the very center of this building.
Lord Smarty Pants, how likely is this building to collapse if I go into it?
Well, I looked at this building before, right? Like building?
I don't think you did this one.
Maybe it was the other one that was right this time. So I guess I'll give it a look-see over here. I assume engineer.
That'll work. It is obviously burned, but
it's pretty well burnt and everything, but it doesn't look like it'll collapse. Looks pretty solid.
Okay, well, I will go into the building and look for the lantern.
Alright, I'll be right back.
alright, when Brett returns, we will continue from here, but we're currently paused.
Okay.
Get water or drinks if you need them.
BRB.
I'm not going to get given wait. Please no comment. Wait for me.
Alright, I'm back.
It's cool, just keep your turn.
It's fine. I'll be bubbled up anyway. So.
Welcome back. We are waiting on Sylvia to return now.
And then once they come back, then I will leave too. So you'll have to wait for me to come back. And Ironbite will leave, and you'll have to wait for him to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And Magic will have to leave, and we'll have to wait for him to come back.
So you're saying I just get to coast the session? Cool.
Oh yes. I'm trying to make it easy for you, so you can make my character and stuff.
I mean, depending on how good you want it to be, I could do it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, here we go. Shaiveen, you step through the hole in the wall, peer down the structure, and see some kind of horrible-looking monster sniffing at corpses inside, and it turns and looks at you, and we are in initiative.
Does Some Kind of Monster by Metallica start playing?
Sure.
Master.
Copy. Right strike, please.
Also their own song, but two sides of the point. There's more than one Metallica song. I don't know how to tell you this.
No, there's only one Metallica song now.
Lies and slander.
And it is Master of Puppets.
Okay, and if there was only one Metallica song, it would be one, obviously.
Obviously, but, you know.
Who is Metallica?
I think they make custom license plates.
Yeah. Is it Metallica?
Yeah.
Lightning riding lessons.
Cidian still needs to roll.
I thought I did roll. Oh, I guess not. Okay, give me. Alright. I'm getting an error.
There's always something.
The key, blah 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 blah, does not exist in the embedded collection. The fuck.
You want me to try rolling for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm getting that error too. What'd you do to your token?
Nothing.
Lies. It's all those weird graphic effects you're putting on. You've been corrupted. Just roll D20 normally.
Okay, well then my attack macro works. That's nice. roll it from my menu? Hey.
Yeah, I wasn't able to roll it from my I had to do it from my character sheet.
Huh. I don't know why that's
Maybe
so
it is
weird.
the effects.
Probably not. Okay, so that's my initiative is /r 1d20 plus 11.
Yeah, that's pretty good, dog.
Well, yeah, being a vampire, I have improved initiative.
Jealous.
Lame.
Oh, yeah, no, your token is just super glitched.
How so?
Yeah, I can't remove you from combat. I can't manually adjust your initiative in combat.
What if I let's delete that token and I'll just drag and drop a fresh one.
That is
Yeah, that
very
didn't
weird.
take out of the encounter list.
Broken.
Good.
Okay, there we go. So drop the token, roll initiative. No, that didn't work either.
Now there's 2 of you on the list.
Yep. See, this is why vampires are bad. So.
I
think
Is it the server?
I see monster.
Yeah.
I don't see myself anymore.
nobody roll anything.
I won't roll anything.
I mean, other people have used these macros and they're rolling just fine.
Yeah, it looks like your token is now fixed. I was able to update your initiative. I just saved a picture of what everybody's initiative was because I had to clear the encounter entirely. So now I'm just manually re-adding people's values.
So being the quick person that you are, Cidian, you're going pretty late in the initiative roll.
I rolled low. I mean,
Just see. It doesn't matter. All I see is you're going.
Alright. Initiative begins with Sahu.
Oh, interesting.
Big scary monster in here. Well, you know, relatively scary. I guess I'm a big scary monster too.
Yeah, you kind of are. Let's see. Let's see if this gets me inside. Oh, it does. Oh! Oh my. I made a movement. I made a move. Now I make an attack.
I don't know if you're gonna hit its flat-footed touch AC.
Yeah, no, this might be impossible, guys. Click,
I know
click.
your attack bonus is terribly low. Yeah, that appears to hit. Though you do notice it doesn't do as much damage as you would have expected.
That's okay. That's okay. These things have a way of
Getting wrecked?
yeah. That's why I fly up close and deadly from 70 feet away. Oh, thank God, Iggy can bless.
alright, yeah, let's go ahead and do that as a matter of fact here. Let's go and bless everyone.
I bless the rains down in Africa.
turn. Iggy does not have a tab for buffs. But, okay, now. Because Iggy doesn't have. Why didn't you give Iggy any buffs?
So, question. No chance this thing is knowledge nature, eh?
Seems unlikely.
Figure. I might hold my turn.
Alright.
Do I hit unturn, or do I...
Yeah, you can hit in turn. I will manually change your initiative when you decide to take it, unless it's at the same point again.
I'm basically planning to go after it goes. I just want to see if it'll close the distance for me.
Lord Morius.
Okay, I will go in here, I guess. It's 20. It's 20. Sure. Okay. Alright, what is this thing? What check do I need?
Knowledge air transportation, please.
Air transportation, okay, I'll roll that. Alright. What is it?
Planes.
Planes.
You may ask me 2 questions.
Wow.
Special defenses and special attacks. And I only see one of these guys.
Ooh, how to do this. Can you still read that?
I can read it.
Okay, then I won't read it.
I think other people can read it, but that's okay.
It's message just to you.
Yeah, okay.
Can't confirm.
I don't see nothing.
Damage versus TR versus good. Acid, permanent, sneak attack. Resist cold, electricity, fire, spell resistance. And it's seized by chance of fatigue if it hits you. I don't like any of that stuff, but we will. I was cast haste on people. Haste it up.
Right.
There you go. Lamo. And get my turn.
Hearing that it has sneak attacks makes me really question my decision to hold my turn.
No, I said it was immune to sneak attacks.
Oh, I thought you said it had sneak attacks.
No, immune to sneak attacks. Immune to acid, critical hits, death effects, disease, poison, sneak attacks.
Okay, my bad.
Cold, electricity, fire, spell resistance, disease on a bite, and there's an aura that deals non-lethal chance of fatigue.
Alright, give me one. So over here I gotta update 2 tokens here. So because Zygarde did not add any common buffs to at all to this token, so
basically I got everybody in there for haste. I will delete that.
alright. I am going to start off by casting Mirror Image on myself.
And remember, you held your turn, so finally you can go whenever you want.
Why would
Reasonably.
I hold my turn?
Not you, Shaiveen.
Oh.
Cidian, mirror image hurts.
Alright, there we go. And I got 7 images, okay, good. And I will move.
I thought you didn't cast a reflection.
It's still an illusion, so
That's why it hurts, yeah.
Alright, so everyone is walking through the side of the building here, so I will also proceed to walk into the side of the building and see what we are dealing with here.
Well, there's a big hole. So.
That looks like some sort of deformed kobold. Not kobold, null. Alright, well, that is my turn. I cast a spell, I move.
Alright. We're ready to party, we're ready. Oh, I really hope I remember to set this up. I did not. It casts Horde Wilting.
On whom?
Gee, I wonder.
That's area of effect.
It attempts to target Cidian, Shaiveen, Lord Morius, and Sahu, but Cidian is not a legal target. So, Shaiveen, Lord Morius, and Sahu, you can give me fortitude saves.
That's nice. Yep, I knew that was gonna happen.
Alright, so the saves are for half. Lord Morius, obviously you failed. Let's see here. Sahu and Shaiveen, you both succeeded for half of this.
Awesome.
It was a little disappointing.
That's half your hit points, isn't it?
Just maybe.
Was Iggy in that range as well?
Iggy was not targeted. No.
Okay.
Okay.
Then the creature flies forward.
Oh, great. It can fly too.
Oh, so you want to play rough. I see how you. And it's done. That's all it can do. Done. No, can't move anymore. Done.
Then, from the pile of corpses that are all over this room, creatures emerge.
Of course it does.
And
You got protection from arrows up.
Shh. They don't know this.
Cidian, this is at you.
Oh,
As
wow.
you bring rifles to bear.
Ooh.
Well, those all miss.
Your touch AC?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my touch AC. I was looking at flat-footed. Sorry. My touch AC is 18, so those all hit. So time to pop some mirrors.
Note the damage breakdown. You can ignore the 2 sources of negative energy on there, so adjust the damage appropriately.
Right. So we got pops and mirrors here. So let me start off by rolling a d7.
1 hits.
All right, so that's a pop mirror. Oh, that's odd. Why do my dice look different? All right, so that's 1 pop mirror. Let's go down to a 6, and that's a pop mirror. A d5. That's another pop mirror. And how many? There's still 4 shots?
4 shots in total, yeah.
Alright, so this would be the lead. Alright, there we go. And yeah, another pop mirror.
So popcorn popping right before your eyes. This one is going to take a full attack at Lord Morius.
Of course it will.
Jeez.
A lot of dice.
Fuck.
The good thing is, let me see. That's not good.
No.
That's
The first one isn't good, no.
confirmed critical is a 20 on the AC. I'm pretty sure that still hits me. Yes, it does. So that's not good. So that's 15.
But
Yep. So that's
I think Morius has died.
Again.
And we still got a big bag of diamonds.
I'm sure
you might. Here.
So, yeah, I also have some relevant additional bad news.
Hold on.
These count as +1, so they're going to overcome DR magic.
Okay. So let's just apply the first one here. So that's a critical hit. That sucks. And then the next one.
Oh.
And the next one is 28 to hit, right? Yeah, so that's hits. So, well, I'm trying to think. How about my contingency? Because I just said 2 hits, I bubble up. I never really said nothing either. So that's up to you, I guess.
You said you're using the same one you used last time.
Yes. Which basically just says, after 2 hits, I bubble up. And I took that off from last time. So I didn't write it down, but yeah, last time I didn't say it was from the same person or anything. I just said 2 hits, I bubble up. I don't know if you consider the...
I mean, I guess the question is, do you really want to try playing fast and loose with contingency?
That's what I was playing with.
If that's a yes, you can roll me a D100 and we'll see where it goes.
What do you mean, fast?
I'd also like to point out this means Magic Dealer will play fast and loose with contingency if you agree to this.
What do you mean, fast and...
Like, vaguely reading interpretations so they apply in the best way possible to his creatures.
So, making the argument that technically you didn't say that there was 2 hits per creature and just 2 hits total so that you can benefit from it now when you want to. You can roll me a D100 and we'll see if that flies, but it also means that enemies will have that same option for their future contingencies. Which I'm totally fine with. And they will have the same 50-50 chance of the Vigor lingo working.
Okay. I will just... It's fine. I'll just kill myself. It's fine. Well, I mean...
That's dark.
It's always been... It's the second time. Anyway, it's fine.
Well, it was supposed to... You were supposed to have it written out in your biography like I had requested.
Yeah.
I'm still not seeing the wording in there.
No, and I... Because I last time because I didn't have it on there anymore. But I sent it to you, I thought.
Well, let's, if you want to go by the wording, you can dig it up.
I did not specify from any target. I just said 2 hits, I bubble up. But I don't... That's why I said I should have left it there. I sent it to you one way or another.
Don't worry.
Yeah, the chat scroll's way up.
Don't worry, I can hit you with Breath of Life.
No, I know, but I wanted to...
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
And the only reason why I was doing this was because my character was super paranoid about dying, so it would be...
Yeah, we had a whole conversation about you changing it, but I guess you decided you didn't, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I wanted exactly what I had before, and before I bubbled after 2 hits, and yeah, it was from the same creature last time, but I didn't really specify that in the contingency list. I just... And today I said I'm doing the exact same thing as I did yesterday, but I forgot I deleted it from here. I wish there was a way to check history on this notes part, but I just wrote it in there thinking. To search this history thing,
If there is, I don't know it. But I can do a quick site search. Oh, you know what I can do? I can export the chat log and that'll give me a text file, and I can search for specific terms in there. So I rely pretty heavily on having notes for things.
But I deleted it because I used my contingency, so I deleted off save, so I wouldn't say I had it. And then I forgot since I cast it today, I should have wrote it down again. That's all. So it's my stupidness. So anyway, and so after the second shot, he kills me, and I keep going here, I guess.
All right. After you drop on the second shot, the bullets will be redirected third and fourth to Shaiveen.
Third will miss, fourth will hit. What am I rolling a fortitude for?
Oh snap, this is even more so. Okay. Yeah, I got completely distracted and forgot about that. Go ahead. Roll me that fortitude save. Alright, you are just fine. Sahu, you took a shot, didn't you?
No, you didn't say anything about me taking a shot.
Oh, okay. No, that was from the other effect then. That's fine. Let's see. For this last one, it is going to target Shaiveen.
Deal. Or no deal. I don't know. You decide. Waits anxiously.
You know, I hate to say it, but at this point of the adventure path, this is kind of bullshit.
Alright, so we're going hit,
The random crits.
miss, hit. Do I roll one fortitude save or three?
One each.
Dos, tres.
Oh, no, I lied, but you resisted it, so you're good.
Cool. I will apply those damages.
Only applies once per round. Alright.
Can I take my turn?
You can, yeah. Let me adjust your initiative here. Alright.
I'll start by ordering Purrserverence to attack the creature in front of me.
I'm going to need you to give me a will save.
Of me personally or Purrserverence?
Both.
Okay.
No, I lied again, just you. Alright, you are just fine. No.
I will order Purrserverence to attack, first and foremost.
You just feel really hungry all of a sudden. Alright, that will bite.
And attempt to grab. Plus 4 to this. So 42.
Alright, that will grab.
Wonderful. And then, Shaiveen will ask, I have a spell that will make the rifleman mostly ineffective, but will also make Sahu mostly ineffective. Yay or nay?
So it's a difference between all of us dying or them dying. Which do you want to choose?
I like living, personally. I mean, whatever you call what I am living.
Yeah.
Unliving, maybe? I don't know. This terminology so is new.
Anyways.
Okay, so you'd rather I cast a spell?
I mean, since it's really going to be affecting Sahu, then it's really up to him, and if he's giving his blessing.
I mean, yeah, go, cast your wind wall.
Okay, I'm not going to cast Wind Wall. I'm going to roll a concentration check to cast defensively anti-tech field. Is that okay?
I don't...
Is this going to...
I told you it would fuck over Sahu. I said that up front. How do I roll concentration? Oh, here it is. I found the concentration button.
Oh, wait. I can maybe resist this.
You're not a robot, I don't think?
No. It says Fortitude Partial, so...
Yeah, Fortitude Partial for a robot.
Oh.
Anyways, so that I believe cast defensively successfully. Yeah?
Yeah, that should do it.
Show me that radius.
Just 10 feet around me. Actually, I was going to ask if Magic Healer could draw it, because I always screw this up.
Let's see.
I'd like to... I don't know if it's a 10-foot aura or a 10-foot around, because I'm bigger than 5 feet, you know? I don't really remember how that works. Perfect. I spellcasted for you guys. I hate spellcasting. I'm a smashy druid, not a casty druid.
Alright, you are surrounded by a glowing field of anti-tech.
Sorry, Sahu. I think this disables you.
Just see Sahu walk out of the building, his head hung.
Alright.
Like.
Alright, Ziggy is going to approach Lord Morius and use the Staff of Life to use Breath of Life.
I mean, it was either that or I, walk out of the anti-magic field and attempt to duel these things. They have rifles, I have a pistol. I'm pretty sure I know how this ends.
And there's 3 of them and 1 of you.
Yeah, so.
This way I can approach them one at a time and eat them. Providing this monster doesn't kill me.
Alright.
Who knows?
But anyway, yeah, I use Breath of Life on Lord Morius.
So you need to roll.
Okay, I need a roll.
Yeah, you have to roll. I can't remember how many d8s are they?
Yeah, there's
5d8 plus 14.
Alright. Alright, let's see. 5d8 plus 14. Not following it.
I think that might bring Lord Morius back.
Yeah, it will. I just need. You should have rolled it with whatever.
/H.
Yeah.
Is that a thing you can do with /H?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't play healers.
/D for damage /H for healing.
Huh.
I'm at 20. I see a sliver. Yes, there's a sliver there. Okay. So my turn.
Morius, you are conscious. Iki is standing over you. Shaiveen next to you, creating a big little body of protection between you and the enemies.
Okay.
Physical body and a magical body.
You might want to figure out what the hell these other guys are.
First I stand up because I have to, so there's that. And then knowledge checks, I guess. So knowledge on... Knowledge religion.
Would you like to engage?
Oh, that's nice. The paralysis on there, that's nice. Let's see. They have a devour soul. Oh, no, that's not good. How that paralyzes people, and their bullets basically have a paralyzing effect as well. This is not good at all.
Sound like horrible party guests.
Yeah, horrible party guest. Yeah, I don't like any of that. That's all bad. And this other guy does this whole... Okay, what spell should I use? Use spells that I'm stuck here.
Uh-oh, I think Cidian got drunk.
Why?
Or maybe I'm the drunk one.
He's got some weird special effect going on with the city.
Oh, you're just now noticing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been looking at paperwork.
Oh. No,
I think I enjoyed the table.
Yeah, I turned that on when I cast Mirror Image.
I forgot. Give me 1 second.
Visual representations of the spells and effect, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat looking.
One day we'll figure out how to make the polymorph button change my picture.
I think once you finish this module and I update the system, it's going to work. But I think it's a system problem.
Julia. Are we anywhere near the end of this book?
Probably not.
Depends on how quick you run through today.
Well, we're not starting off very well over here. So.
Yeah, I've noticed.
We spent a solid hour on RP talking to a little girl.
An hour and 40 minutes before you all stepped out to adventure.
I mean,
Hey, that was important. There we go. Yeah.
yeah, nothing wrong with that. Absolutely.
Anyway.
That's not a complaint, just an observation.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing.
Magic Delicious going, oh, thank God, I don't have that much more content prepared.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've got the entire rest of the thing done, all the way to the final fight.
Well, what are we doing dibbling around then? Let's kill some stuff.
Sorry, I'm trying to think of something to do here. I'm
Chain
failing.
lightning?
Sure, if you want chain lightning, we'll give you chain lightning. But he's resistance versus.
I don't know if the ranges are actually good in here. I haven't measured it, but I was just saying, like Sahu is a big part of our DPS, and he's effectively out of this fight. So,
Yeah. And I have no hit points, so.
so it's time to be aggressive.
I guess, yeah. 60. 70.
think it's a little too much for a fire snake too.
Yeah, I can't get them all, so. Yeah, it must be within 30 feet of the primary target. So I can get 2 of them, but that's it. With that.
Well, do you have any air spells? It's like, you might as well just fire snake or something then. Say it's a higher spell.
Yeah. Do fire snake or dragon's breath. Either one would probably be okay.
Just pick one and go for it. I trust you.
I'll trip this one. Yeah.
The magic man take vengeance.
Well, we'll do fire. Yeah, fire snake. Yeah, fire snake. And that will go. Give me the. Crappy. I want free hand. There you go, free hand. So there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So it gets both of them.
Yep, that's fine. I'm gonna need the SR check.
Yeah, guess we'll check there.
And I need to turn the private roll off. Again.
Did that roll for you? And I didn't see it. Is that okay?
I haven't seen it yet either.
Okay, alright. So I will click it again, I guess. There you go. Definitely enough. Definitely.
Yeah, that's a 21.
Spell resistance plus the 4, so it's 25 plus it's the evocation, so it's,
Oh, I see you added it to the note. 25. Okay.
it's actually 26 since it's the evocation, so got another +1 down there.
Alright. Let's see, the DC was 17, which sucks for both of them.
Yep. And then I'm going to click on a fireball because I can.
Give me just a second to apply this. This is fire damage, yeah?
Yes. Burn them. Can't go wrong with fire. So burn 'em.
Kill him with fire.
I mean, you can go wrong with fire.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's
wait.
resistance to every other element that it's got cold, electricity, and fire. So there's really nothing else I can do. So it's fire.
All right.
And then click on a fireball. Blew that one there. Cast a little check again. Ah, that's lower. I don't know. 2, 3.
Well, it's still plus 5 to that, yeah?
Yeah.
So that'll still work.
Alright, cool. Oh yeah, that's right, because it's 22. Aha! Day's mine.
It might actually be yours.
Lord Smarty Pants strikes again.
And I can't do the free hand. How do I delete the free hand? I'm trying to click on the free hand and delete it, but it won't let me. I probably don't want to do that. I don't know how to delete the free hand magic, sorry.
Oh, there's a, on the drawing tool, there's a selection tab, and you just click on top of it, and it'll highlight the whole box the drawing's in.
So
And then you delete it.
I'm on the drawing tools, and then you're saying okay.
Yeah, I deleted it. I was just telling you how I did it.
Well, I didn't do it, so I don't know if I did. Oh, anyway, moving on.
Well, draw another line. We'll go through it real fast.
Okay, because I want to know. I assume if I draw a line here, and then you're saying the very tippy top one.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a dragon. Yep, there you go.
Okay. Thank you, and I will continue on. Now I will get hit like a pincushion. Please save me. Somebody.
Okay.
You should really read anti-technology field.
It doesn't affect this guy, though.
Yo, that guy.
The giant plant monster in front of him has something to say, and my cat currently has him grappled.
Alright, so then, I will... okay, those guys are way in the back. Not a whole lot I can do about them. But that guy in the front, I can certainly do something about.
Kill him, so Purrserverence can charge.
Alright then, let's give this a try. He has spell resistance, correct?
He does.
Alright, I'm just... Okay, talking that on.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Okay, well.
He resists the spell.
Well. Wonderful. That... well...
Did you roll a 2?
Yeah, I rolled a 2. Alright, well, so much for that. Tried. Pesky spell resistance. I mean, that was some pretty damn good damage, too.
Doesn't matter if you don't overcome that.
No, it doesn't.
There you go.
Yeah, my preferred approach is, boosting it to unholy values.
That's right. Even I consider myself low, but whatever.
Okay.
I assume it's a werewolf thingy's turn?
Among other things, yes.
I was being grappled by a big cat. Catadillo.
He's going to start this party off by casting a quickened spell against Purrserverence.
Okay, does he have to roll a concentration to cast or grapple? Can he cast or grapple?
He can, and I don't think he does for quickened spells.
I would think that any spell that he would have to cast.
Well, as long as that is a systematic component. Like, there's some spells you don't. Because they're just verbal.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to cast one to prevent like an attack of opportunity or something. He still does have to do the normal one for being held, but it doesn't provoke or need to be cast defensively or anything.
Okay, but yeah, he does need to roll a concentration check, I think. Gets grappled.
Yeah.
Which he will easily pass.
Well, not necessarily.
I know.
Let's see.
Already know.
10 plus the CMB of the grappler plus the level of the spell.
Oh dear!
Yep.
Which is gonna put it
Squarely in the 30s, I believe.
at
The CMB is 21. 21 plus spell level.
We'll see if this rolls the right value.
That fails.
Yeah, the adjustment was wrong anyways, but it's still not quite high enough. So, sadly, his quickened magic missile does not go off, and he instead will turn his natural attacks on Purrserverence.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, miss.
Look, Rahu. An actual tank.
Dun, dun. That will definitely miss.
What? That one doesn't hit? You sure?
The undead will go. The first one will target Purrserverence. Unleash a full attack that strikes against the edge of the technology barrier.
Bullets fall harmlessly to the ground.
It looks over at the other one. And these things are pretty smart, relatively speaking. And it is going to... It appears to be waiting for something. Shaiveen, yep.
I will start by attacking the monster, whatever it may be.
Monster, monster.
It's a lot of smackins.
It is some smackins. Let's see. The first attack hits. The second, third, fourth, and fifth attacks will all hit.
Well, damn.
I assume tearing it limb from limb.
Alright, it takes through Tentacle 3 to drop.
Okay.
Really? This thing just... Wow.
Now... Alright, so they're clearly waiting in ambush.
What will Purrserverence do?
Well, Purrserverence follows my orders. And I think I'm wise enough to not send my big battle cat charging into a firing line. So I will say, Cidian, Morius, if you want to mop these guys up, I'll just stay here keeping us safe until they die.
I think I can do that.
Be my pleasure.
There's really nothing Sahu can do.
Alright, let's see here. Any other buffs I can cast here. Well, actually, we got some healing needs to be done. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so then let's go to features, and let's go... Where's that at here? Would that be under features? Channel?
That would be under cleric.
It's under the hot power. Under features.
Yeah, I see. Okay, let's channel some energy here.
Just as Iggy raises her holy symbol to channel energy, you hear a click as if somewhere a remote happens, and it changes from good to negative energy.
You wish.
It's the power of the remote control. How else are you supposed to change the channel?
Alright, so that's Iggy's turn.
Okay.
Oops.
Did I lie? So we will.
Lord Morius, just so you know, none of your cyberware works inside this aura.
Yeah, all that.
Oh no, cyberware is not working.
I know, I'm sorry, but I didn't cast it.
Wait, you're fucking with me, right? He doesn't actually have cyberware, does he?
Wouldn't you like to know? So there you go.
Mecha Morius frowns in disappointment.
I could. You know what? Sure. I don't like these guys. They had no resistance. No resistance. So let's burn them.
Rude. Haha, they don't save. Oh, freezing sphere? Really?
Yeah, I did the whole thing, but it's fire, so. It's a big ball of fire. Wait, you didn't want me to cast that?
No, it's just like, hasn't this place been burned enough?
It hasn't.
Alright. Well, let's see here. We got these guys left to get. Okay then.
Yeah, technically the spell resistance to overcome that is a little higher on this one too. So.
Alright, let's target this one. Target that one with a magic missile. And that one doesn't count for magic missile.
Sorry, you missed.
You missed. Unexcusable.
Oh, this is the worst magic missile.
I had a lot of ones in there too. Oh my goodness. 5 ones in my roll. It's a third of my dice.
Alright, the force is with you, and very much against this undead.
Alright.
Why are you playing around? Where's your fireball?
Do you really want me to waste a fireball on these? And besides,
Yeah.
they're too far apart. I couldn't hit both of them.
It's like a small part of me that wants to go dramatic overkill here. But
I don't like their abilities, so that's why I'm like
I don't know. I like them.
Yeah, don't underestimate these guys.
Well, I guess I could...
Oh, wait, no, not yet. Damn it. I have all of the, you're not going yet, Shaiveen. I have all the monsters under the same initiative, and because the particular monster you guys just killed, it skipped their turn.
Good.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna step back here.
I don't see a problem.
Monster here is still dead, so I'm gonna pull him off the map. But I would hate to miss this opportunity.
Yeah.
You're all too clear.
This opportunity to attack.
So this one moves forward and lets out a blood-curdling howl. It is quite blood-curdling.
Got it.
I need folks inside this radius to give me a will save.
Fail this. Yep.
With the exclusion of Cidian.
Yeah.
It's okay. Sorry. I ended up with a 1 there, so.
Oh, we got one!
Got 2.
No, just the one. So this horrifying screech is terrifying, at least to Purrserverence, who is paralyzed with fear
Fucking scaredy cat.
for a round.
For a round.
Fireworks.
What's the other one gonna do?
That was. I'm guessing you rolled to see how many rounds it lasted, and that's what you ended up with.
Well, don't forget that everybody else is shaking.
Yeah, everybody else is shaken. Again, except for Cidian. No, it's
Yeah.
not gonna fucking matter.
What are you talking about? It's gonna matter. Don't underestimate these guys.
The other one flies up through the building quickly
Oh, those.
by Purrserverence, stopping near Cidian and raising his rifle. Shaiveen, you're up.
Okay. So first of all, okay. Second of all, let me count for a second.
I mean, hell, I didn't know those things could fly.
Damn it, 1 square short.
That's good. You should see their line of t-shirts.
Oh, I guess if I made a 5-foot adjust, I could. You're back already. Sorry, I have to. Okay. So I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this wall here? Can I cast a spell through it? Is it not effectively there?
It doesn't block your line of effect or anything. It's just a little,
Okay.
burned out husk at this point.
I think I will, in that case, take a 5-foot adjust and cast Fire Snake, just hitting them both. Cidian. Hopefully this kills them.
Yeah, we'll see.
You still have mirror images, if not, right?
He's got a few left.
Running a little short on the self-reflection, though.
Oh, and you need SR too, don't you?
Nope.
Oh, perfect. I'm bad at drawing, but I did measure it out, so.
Yeah, most of the time you don't have to draw. I can do the math pretty fast. Yeah, so they both succeed.
Darn it, I would have been better off just tearing the one to pieces. Oh well, you gotta try, right?
Yep.
And Purrserverence paralyzed because he's a big scaredy cat.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I'll say, it's okay, buddy, it's okay. I'll light them on fire for you. You'll be alright.
Sahu, you're up.
Right, yeah.
Move to the north and shoot the one by Cidian.
Oh, there's one that I can actually get to?
Yeah.
Oh, happy day. How far can I just do a 5-foot step?
Now you have to move and shoot.
A 5-foot step will not get you clear of the aura of technology anti-field.
Alright, whatever. I can't see the one. Oh, there it is. Alright, let's see if I can actually hit this thing. Oh. No.
You know, Lord Morius, I gotta say, your fire snake was way more effective than my fire snake.
Yep.
That'll hit and deal damage.
I'm helping.
All right. Let's see here. Let me take a look at some of Iggy's features here. I believe. Oh yeah, that should work. Let's do a firebolt.
Firebolt.
Do 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 do. Oh, there's a little animation. That was cute.
Yeah.
You hit. It's still up.
All right.
Throw your flip flop at them, like Morius. Wizards wear flip flops, right?
Sure. That sounds good. So flip flop time. Got it. Is there only these two left here? Yeah. Okay. I won't be able to get it. That's 20. Yeah. That should be able. Well, sorry. I don't think I can get both of them with that.
I just remembered something awful. Sorry, continue.
I will just do magic missile, I guess. Sure, to get rid of one of them. Oh no, I got Scorching Ray. I'll do Scorching Ray. Sounds good.
Were you measuring for Fire Snake?
I was gonna measure for Fire Snake, but it's too far. So it's too far. Because if I go down here, I have to go 15 here plus 25 there. So that's 40. and then from 40, then I have to go here and down 1, so that's 40, 45, 50, and 50 to over here. So.
I mean, from the first step, you can just adjust 2 of those blocks over sideways, and that gives you 35 for that first step.
What do you mean? I can't go through Cidian, so...
I'm talking about the other leg. For Cidian, what's your distance on your fire snake? How many squares do you get?
60 feet.
Yeah, you could take a 5-foot step and do it.
You'd think.
I do.
So if I move right there, I can do...
Actually, technically, I don't think you even need to do that. Because it's squares, not... So you can ignore the diagonal cost increase.
You can't do diagonal with Fire Snake.
They have to be contiguous, but, like, you can...
Really? I thought
That's how I pulled it off.
I assumed it wouldn't allow you diagonal.
You just can't have, like, gaps in the line. It has to be a straight line, basically, is what that means. And, you know, not a straight line, a continuous line.
Oh, it says any square must be adjacent to the previous square, starting with you. So I assumed that meant that it had to be a square block, not diagonal.
The diagonals are still adjacent, just like if 2 tokens were in the same positions, they would be considered adjacent to one another, flanking and all that.
Totally messed that up. But anyway, Fire Snake did.
So yeah. Cool, your snake got an upgrade. And yeah, I'm not gonna roll. You burn them to dust.
That's a good roll there. And I still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones.
Also, I think I missed it earlier, but he channeled earlier, didn't I?
Yeah, I did.
I think I forgot to heal. That's okay, we'll heal up after combat.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now, yeah.
Looks like 33 points you missed, yeah.
Fixed.
There you go. Fire Snake did it. Yay.
Yay! All hail the angry wizard! Lord Smarty Pants vanquishes them again.
And we were out of combat.
Yay. There's much rejoicing.
Wanna channel some more Iggy, or use some cure spells or something, or?
Let's see here. Inventory. Well, let's use the wand here. All right, so Morius, I don't have access to the macro for that though.
Oh, I do. I can do it.
Oh, isn't it it should be available to everybody.
Where is it at? Is it in the compendium somewhere?
If you hit the folder by your macro bar, it opens up a macro directory which has all the global macros.
Oh, okay. I
It
see.
should be in there.
Oh, so is it Test Cure Wand, or is there actually like a different wand?
Custom wand of cure light wounds.
Oh, I see it. Okay, let me throw that in here. My quick bar. And
Yes.
all right, so let me just hit that and enter the amount of you want to heal. Okay, how much do I need to heal Morius?
I'm down 42 points.
All right, 42 points.
The answer to life, the universe, and everything.
6 charges.
I am down 58 points.
All right, and
Now that we are where I'm back up way above the contingency thing, can I change my contingency now to what I want it to be, or do you want it to be... How do you want to play that out?
Yeah, it's okay.
Go into your biography, put it in there, and in the future, if you expend the spell, just...
Oh, I got that. I was putting on your notes, and I'm putting active contingency, and then whatever it is.
Perfect.
And
And
then
you just change it to inactive if it's not.
Right.
That's beautiful. Okay, below 50%.
yes, I changed it to that so there's no ambiguity. There is no, multiple hits. 50% or lower, I'm done. Bubbling up.
You're missing something in there.
Cast Resilient Sphere around myself. Oh, HP. See, you knew what I meant to say. Anyway, yes.
Oh yeah, that's why I mentioned I'm not like trying to troll you or anything.
Yes. Below 50% health. Cast Resilient Sphere
Perfect.
around myself. There. No ambiguity. No counting hits. Just below 50. Alright.
Okay. So,
So 95, half of 95. So there you go.
I will search the room, looking for the lantern.
All right, give me a perception check.
I'm even going to put in the hit point value because I'm at 95, so that's a half there. So you're going to put 40.
Okay, I can't compete with that. All right,
What?
I cannot compete with the wisdom-based caster.
48. There you go.
Okay,
Caster, who's also a frontline melee fighter.
I know.
Shaiveen, you spot the four rifles these undead were carrying. They don't have any ammunition on them. You also find a pocket watch worth 600 gold and a diamond ring worth 1,000 gold under some rubble. And you do eventually discover the lantern inside the stomach of the creature you were fighting.
Huh.
Yeah. So now all of their souls are in the lantern too. Good stuff. Good stuff.
You also find a burned and hunchbacked body, which is unique in that it had an artificial limb.
What do you know?
Okay.
Our cybernetics here.
And looking at it, the hunchback body and the artificial limb both remind you of the description you received of Victor Mislaslav some 5 or 6 sessions ago.
There's the engineer. Yeah.
Whoa.
We
Hey,
found
Iggy,
the
you got-
body.
Does Iggy have Speak with Dead today?
I'd probably not. I am updating the.
Iggy, what are you doing? You should have that. You knew what we were supposed to do. Come on. Now we're gonna have to spend another night and lose the body. Blame you, Iggy. I'm gonna blame you. It's all your fault.
And a diamond ring worth 1,000 gold.
Yeah, nice.
And
the
Morius,
living lantern.
we just have to break the lantern, right? That's all we gotta do. Nothing fancy. It's not gonna explode. It's not gonna eat me. It's not gonna destroy my mind.
It's been a while since we read the lantern thing.
To the best of your recollection, that is accurate.
If it explodes, eats me, and destroys my mind, I'm gonna be very unhappy for a brief
But
moment.
if it breaks, just to let you know, anything that's inside will come out. That's correct, right? So
Well, don't we need that to happen to speak to the dead guy? Isn't his soul in here or something?
yes. I just want to make sure that any other souls will come out too. So it's not just the dead guy's soul that we want. Be everybody.
I'd just like to have a moment of silence for that poor murdered goat.
I'm not having a moment of silence.
We killed it for no reason.
It attacked.
Well,
It was basically this.
Yeah.
Break it. And I step 60 feet back. Hey, I'm not.
Right. So before I
It should
break
be okay,
it,
but I'm not gonna risk it. So 60 feet back.
sorry. And did we confirm that Iggy does not have Speak with Dead on the spell list today?
Checking.
You were
Well,
in charge of that, by the way.
It would help if I was looking at the right spell list.
Yeah, that'd be useful.
Amazingly,
Yes, he does have. Yes, Iggy does have Speak with Dead prepared.
Sweet. So just in case, I'm gonna get Purrserverence to go stand
My lord.
here, and I'm gonna put the lantern in between us, so that if anything comes out of it, we're gonna snap down on that real quick.
Well, are we doing it inside this place here, I guess?
I see no reason to move.
Yeah.
You?
So you both stand really close to the lantern as you break it. Is that accurate?
Well, me and Purrserverence. The rest of I don't know what the rest of the party are gonna do.
I'm fine with sitting here.
Purrserverence is my homie. We gotta stick up for each other, you know. If one of us is breaking a lantern, we're both breaking a lantern.
I mean, nothing in there could really hurt me, so. At least as far as I'm aware.
I'm sure Iggy would probably not stand next to me for this. I'm almost certain of that.
Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, that's probably a good bet.
I think I'm out of the range of anything. Oh, I like Sahu's over there, so I'm gonna go back here. We're gonna be.
You'll
right
stand
here
up if you aren't.
Hey,
All right, just let me know when everyone's in a position they're happy with, and I will destroy this thing.
I'm not in a happy position, but we'll go ahead.
I wrap my mighty tentacles around it and squeeze, with all of my power.
Alright, as you shatter it, a garlic elemental emerges and beelines towards Cidian.
Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Oh,
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Did
Enjoy
you
the
s-
garlic!
A garlic elemental. Okay, sure.
The garlic plane is tangentially located near the ranch plane.
Yep.
I'm just saying, but as a garlic elemental, it's cool with me. I'm a druid. It's a garlic elemental. We're good terms.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful it brings tears to your eyes.
So it only wants Cidian.
It's beauty.
And it helps hold sickness at bay.
Yeah. So it only wants Cidian, so I see no issue with this. So.
Alright, so you shatter the lantern, and it breaks into pieces. Anything that may have been contained in it is no longer contained in it after the smashing.
I would like to take a cursory look around to see if any corpses are getting up.
Okay, rolling perception.
Oh, sorry, that was Purrserverence. My bad.
You do spot one. It doesn't seem to be hostile, however.
Is it the engineer guy?
No.
Oh, can you point at it?
What? I still have mirror image up. So.
Okay, alright, moving
Well, there's
forward.
multiple.
Hardy har. Alright guys, lantern's destroyed. Nothing's coming back to life. Come talk to the engineer, dude. Let's go.
All right.
Oh gosh, that. Side note, based off the scroll of the comet, there is a way to weaponize a spell that will basically kill every commoner for a mile per level. Just FYI, I know how to do this.
I mean, there's just two things about that. I agree with the how do you avoid a comet that covers an area that large. Second thing, I think the damage is too low.
It's actually pretty easy. You just need this little stone on a necklace.
I mean, if you have evasion, oh, guess what? I completely avoided taking damage from this fucking comet.
Yes, I understand. It is terrible. However, I nailed my reflex save. Therefore, I am unharmed.
You phase through the comet as it breaks into chunks, narrowly managing to avoid each one as it impacts the ground around you.
Yeah. Haven't you seen Avengers? I mean, I can survive a comet, no problem.
Anyway, let's so maybe we should figured out what we want to ask before we cast the spell?
All right, Lord Morius, that sounds like your job.
Oh yeah, since Morius, you will of course be the one to actually speak the language.
Speaks the language, read the notes. He's kind of the guy for the job.
What? I'm not the guy for the job. Why am I the guy for the job? It'd be you. You are a wise and great druid there. You would have the wise information. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, that's good. You just put that up there because I was actually looking that up.
Yeah. So,
and just as a quick reminder,
we have to make sure they're precise, to the point, and it's a yes or no. I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See here. I mean, I think Iggy should be high enough level at some point to be able to cast like a resurrection or something, but that would actually take resources.
We do have resources, but I think this is. Oh, and it's a brief, cryptic, or repetitive.
Yeah, we're gonna ask, how to activate the device.
I mean, I could. Right. I mean, if we could wait a day, maybe I could do reincarnate.
Yeah, I can also do reincarnate. No, Iggy should have access to resurrection. We've used it.
True, but I mean, the matter is, how high do we want to go when bringing back this NPC, just asking questions?
Well, do you want to do? It comes down to: do you want to speak with dead, or want to do a resurrection type thing? Well, we have the diamonds.
We have the technology. We can rebuild them. Well, let's do speak with dead first. If we find the answer is not satisfactory or incomplete, we can always.
If he's alive or dead, he can still lie to us. Alive, I think we could do Zone of Truth. I think to make him say exactly the truth on there. Which speak with dead, we can't do anything.
Well, Zone of Truth is they can't consciously tell a lie. They can still not speak.
Correct.
So.
But this dude also got betrayed and murdered, and he might have some reason to help us against Rasputin.
Yep.
True.
But we need to come up with 7 questions. I'm pretty sure that Speak with Dead is not nearly sufficient to communicate the information that we need.
Yeah, I mean...
To activate the machine. I don't know, some whisper in my head, inklings of that, so... I think I'd have better chances if he was alive to be able to activate it.
To diplomacy him?
Well, it's not just try to think of 7 questions on how to make sure that device is up and running the way it was and can transport us to that location. I can't think of making only 7 questions work.
Cover that?
To cover all that.
Okay.
And that's just making the device work, let alone any other questions we have.
All right. With my great druidic wisdom, do I have it? Could I think of a way to create 7 questions that would adequately...
With your great wisdom, you are certain that trying would be folly, especially with the limitations of the spell. The only way to get the type of information you need for a device that is so incredibly complex you couldn't even fake it into working is either going to be somebody with an even better use magic device than you by a good margin, or having this guy actively help you do so.
All right, resurrection it is. Break out the diamonds.
Sounds great. Resurrect this guy.
Okay. Oh no, who has diamonds?
The diamonds are in our party inventory. I assume Iggy would have them because Iggy's our main caster for that.
I mean,
we've used some. I assume you are keeping track of it because you normally keep track of party resources.
I keep track of loot. That's different from like diamonds and stuff like that. That's actually claimed. I if stuff is actually claimed by someone, they should keep track of it on their inventory. Let me check Iggy's inventory here and see if...
Because we started with 50k in diamonds. I spent 1,000. I don't think we've resurrected anyone again since then. We did some restorations.
And surprise, they're not listed in the inventory.
Okay.
Looks like somebody went gambling.
Now, however, we do have this diamond ring.
Not nearly enough for resurrection, I don't think.
Well, how much does the diamond need to be worth?
10 grand, I think.
10.
It's per hit die, I think. Let me see. Hold on. That's not.
Regular standard resurrection is a diamond worth 10,000 gold.
Anyways,
Right.
how many restorations did we do? We can figure out how many diamonds we spent really quick. This is easy.
Raised Dead is a diamond worth 500 or 5,000 gold.
And that's what we did.
Well,
And then, of course, there's Reincarnate.
okay, well, all I know is I spent 1,000 gold worth of diamonds resurrecting Purrserverence. How many restorations did we do?
Well,
Apparently, a lot of money's worth.
I didn't keep track of that because I didn't need any.
Oh my god, I hate it when people don't... Magic, how do you want to run this? If I had known I had to keep track of the diamonds, I would have kept track of the diamonds. I assumed our healer would.
Well, does anybody have the diamonds on their inventory list?
The only thing I have in the loot is, let's see here, assorted gold and silver jewelry. No, that's not gonna work.
I do not have it on my character sheet because, like I said, I'm not that time of spellcaster, really. So, yeah.
Yeah. For fuck's sakes.
There's no spell I need right now that I needed diamonds, so not in that form anyway.
Okay, and reincarnate requires oils worth 1,000 gold.
Okay, I am,
Let's see what the chat has to say.
stepping away for 10 seconds to keep my good energy.
Mike is muted.
What does Ironbite say?
Hello?
Is there anybody out there?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I've come to see you again.
In the darkness slowly creeping.
And Ironbite's finally speaking.
Sorry, there just hasn't been a whole lot for me to do right now.
We were just asking if you would rather continue exploring or just call it, go rest again and and resurrect this guy tomorrow. Because I don't think there's any point to continuing to grind at this place that is killing us.
Yeah, we can probably not get all the loot in this place, even though it goes against my Fallout instincts.
Although, who knows, perhaps we may need to go down into the other portion of this map to activate whatever it is. Some sort of other MacGuffin we need.
Well, we'll see. For now, I'd be content to deal with the guy and have the guy be dealt with.
I mean, at the very least, since Sahu will have someone else to talk to. Or we just wait for Mike to show back up. Great.
Where did he go?
Don't know.
Party would like to retire to the magnificent mansion and rest so they can prep the raised dead and bring this guy back.
Okay, well then I will cast Magnificent Imagine.
Isn't it still up?
It is, but I might as well refresh it. There you go. Boom.
It's a different one. This one will last overnight for y'all, so.
Oh.
And this one will look like a prison cell. Oh.
You stop that. We are not prisoners.
Everybody go sleep in your block.
As you can see, it does say I can create any floor plan I desire. So, cell block D is for a couple people. There you go.
Wow. Cell block D.
Right.
Don't worry, I can still use Tears into Wine and Bountiful Banquet. We'll be well looked after.
Oh, there's still plenty of food. It's just you were in prison, so we got prison food. So there you go.
Oh, I love top ramen.
Yeah, there you go.
Top ramen and instant mashed potatoes. Yummy.
Right. Don't forget the toilet bowl of wine. So there we go.
Oh no, I'm just gonna turn my tears into wine at the fucking pathetic display that I'm witnessing.
Crying, but probably from the laughter.
Yep.
Let's see here. Let's ditch Life Bubble. And throw this.
And yes, that's not a joke. We're definitely in a prison or some sort of that. So there you go.
All right.
Lord
Prison
Morius,
themed mention.
That's
you
right.
have a most fucked up mind.
After what just happened, yeah, that's where we're going.
All right, there we go.
Does that get all sold out? I didn't get come back for that, so I don't know.
I'll be right back again, guys.
Diamonds.
Yeah, it all got sorted out. We know how much we have left.
How much do we have left?
We think we have, after resurrecting the guy, 43,000 remaining.
Okay.
I am satisfied that there's at least enough to raise this guy, and we will hit Iggy up, Zygarde up when we have the opportunity to find out if there's an actual written value somewhere, and if not, well, there will be some problems, but
There's gonna be a slight reprimand.
I mean,
in the form of less diamonds, yes.
I mean, we already kind of knew he was bad at bookkeeping, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, I thought they would either be on the party list or on Zygarde's sheet. I didn't even consider that I would have to keep track of them, so sorry.
Alright, have you changed your spells out that you're going to change out?
Yes.
If Lord Morius changing spells, when we grab a Coke, I'll be like 3 seconds.
I am going to teleport to.
Pick up your amulet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm going to use my Arcane Bond to give me a teleport, and then cast teleport, and just stay in the tiny hut, into the hut tonight. So, take it stays prison.
Okay. One of these days that will be funny.
I am back.
All right.
And I stay in the hut, and they stay there. Alright.
I have also gotten myself.
Not changing any spells?
I should probably get a third teleport, so I have 2 back.
I've gotten myself something to drink, so.
Okay.
Me too.
We heard it snap open.
Let me see where's teleport. Teleport can be. Force levels, force. I can't find no character.
And you know, and
level spell, and I can't get rid of.
you know, in the off chance this guy is not going to be very cooperative, I can always, do my thing. And
Your
Okay. Now I'm ready.
thing.
How about we try diplomacy first?
Well, yes, of course. We'll try diplomacy first, but if that doesn't work, then, well, we'll have to be a bit more persuasive. Or rather, I will have to be more persuasive.
Like I said, I'm ready, so you can rest us, I think.
Yeah, I'm not changing my spell list. Rest us up.
Hit that rest button.
Alright, you have been arrested.
Good, I get.
Let's resurrect this dude. I brought him with me into the mansion so we wouldn't lose the corpse.
Alright, let's cast Resurrection.
Well,
Raise dead, but...
Raise dead,
and,
yes.
Teleport back to everybody here with now that I got my amulet.
I can feel it. This is gonna be the moment.
What moment?
The moment it's gonna be hilarious. You can feel it.
Can you stop? You know that. There you go.
Ah, the feeling passed. It's okay.
All right, got my amulet back, which is great, and there you go. We're all good. I feel complete. Now I'm here, and now you can cast your whatever.
I did, yeah.
Now with 100% less bullet holes.
Yes.
So, we raised dead the engineer. Lord Morius, I recommend you be the one to talk to him.
Yeah. I don't feel like.
I really hope he's not been dead longer than 14 days.
I can tell you he has. So.
Oh, then... What? I didn't... I fucking hate everything.
I mean, we've spent more than 14 days here.
No, we haven't.
Going back and forth.
Listen, he's been dead for plot.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you been counting the days?
Yes.
Can
And we've been here for plot, okay?
All right.
I just want the guy to be alive again. Can we just have the guy be alive again, please?
I want to stop this constant. Oh, hey, let's you know.
Screw us over.
I do this thing all the time at work, where I talk through my thought process and make way more work for myself by accident, and that's what you're doing right now.
Because we already cast the spell, so I'm just being the pessimist that I am. So I used to say I'm a realist, but now I switched my mind about this game. So
Is the glass half full or half empty? Neither. It's filled with the party's blood.
that's right.
Okay, so Iggy comes over, leans down, touches the charred corpse, begins casting for a minute, and over the course of the minute, the body slowly reforms into flesh and bone and not charcoal, which is nice. Hair grows in, and then suddenly the eyes open. This creature flings itself to its feet and just starts shouting angrily.
What's he talking about?
Okay, I think this is your area of expertise, Morius, so have at it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to. Sorry, I'm gonna have to go. I got paged. For work there.
You have to go in?
Well, yeah, I have to log into my computer and stuff. So, is there? If someone wants to run the last, hour, that's fine. I don't know. So.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure it's going to take an hour with this stupid call. So.
Hopefully not.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's alright.
I'll try to get back, but I don't know if I will be. So, but.
Okay. We'll update you in chat if we end up closing before you return.
Alright. Alright then. I guess run Morius then. Okay, so calm down.
In Russian, I assume.
Yes, in Russian, I'm saying. I'm speaking in Russian. Calm down, we're not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send you this thing.
Okay. Yes, Rasputin. Yes. We already heard the story of what happened, and well, you're alive again, so you have us to thank for that. And well, let's just say we have also a vendetta against Rasputin as well. Would you care to give us some aid in that regard?
Yeah. Takes another couple minutes to wind down enough.
Like, that fucking backstabbing son of a goat fucking whore! How sure is a train drinking fool of a murderous cesspool?
Yeah, he just goes on, and the dude's mouth is filthy.
Even though Shaiveen can't understand the words, she recognizes the tone and she covers Purrserverence's ears.
Yeah, it is rough. It takes him a couple minutes to calm down into coherent thought, and even then he is standing there literally trembling with rage, his face bright red, his mustache even looks angry.
True Russian.
Yeah. Have you gotten that out of your system yet?
No.
Well, good. Yes, so we brought you back to life, so I'm sure you're very thankful for that. And I'm not sure if you heard me through your ramblings about what we're doing here.
You want to gut the fucking big sticker?
Perhaps not in so many words, but yes.
What do you need?
We need a way to activate the device that you built for him that sent him to wherever he went.
The device! He could never understand it properly. Yes, I can do this for you.
Good. Is there anything that you require in order for that to happen? So far, this entire encampment that we've been in has not been a very pleasant experience overall for us. So,
my beautiful machine must be activated at 4 separate points. The panels must be aligned. He starts muttering off a bunch of terms that don't actually exist. And you know this because you speak Russian, and what he's saying doesn't make any sense to you. And so you assume he must have actually created a number of terms to describe the things he's doing, because literally nobody else has done anything like this before. And after a minute of that, he comes down a little bit. We activate at the 4 posts, then that will bring the fuck my brain, church back into phase, and then you can go and slit his throat.
Is he speaking English or I'm sorry, is he speaking Common or Russian?
Russian.
Ah.
I see. Yes, we have investigated these. Towers before. We tried to do something with the devices. We actually tried to turn them off, and well, that didn't work very well. Alright, so, with these instructions that you've given us, we should... Imagine each one of us needs to be at one of these towers and do this simultaneously.
He shakes his head. No, we must go one by one. I cannot explain to you how. It's too complex.
I see. Alright, well, we have easy access to 2 of them. The other 2, which lay beyond the other set of fencing, we have not yet gone down to yet.
Son of a...
Alright, so...
Yep, we're going south.
I haven't explained that to you yet. But I do. I explain what we need to do. Alright, so... I gesture at where we're at right now. So this room, this building you're in, is not really here. This is a creation of mine. And eventually it will disappear. Now, you can stay in here for until it disappears, and you'll just be forced back out into the real world. So, but it'll stay here for a few more hours. It's up to you for how long you wish to remain here. I can't vouch for your safety if you come with us.
He shakes his head. No, we go now.
And we go now. I'm down. Sorry, I can't be part of this conversation. Sorry.
Okay. Do you have any way of defending yourself? Do you have any fighting skills?
He spreads his hands wide. I'm an engineer. If I could fight, Rasputin would be in the dirt.
Wait. I've got it. Sahu hands him a wrench and a toolbox. Start hitting that.
He smokes the toolbox.
So if you hit that, it should create a turret.
No. It's TF2.
Sorry, he already smoked it.
Oh.
Alright, so,
So we're gonna go. So next session, because I think we're almost close to.
with Mike and I here, I don't know how much longer we actually want to go.
Yeah. So we have a direction, guys.
Yes, we do. We have a direction.
My god.
What we could do, at least for today, before we wrap up, is hit the 2 towers we have access to and get those aligned.
Yeah, I'm down.
Wait. Stop. So, this tower, if you guys zoom out for a second.
Mm-hmm.
We cleared, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we cleared this one.
Yeah, I don't think we did either. I think once we discovered we couldn't really mess with them without really killing ourselves, we kind of ignored them.
Yeah. So, as far as I know, this tower still has a bunch of Russian guards up there, and the last time we tried doing anything, they kind of kicked our asses.
Okay.
So,
I could just go Scorched Earth and just, like, Firestorm, Fire Strike, Fire Snake, like, just in succession.
I mean, you could, but, you know.
It's a blatant misuse of resources, but...
Exactly. So, what I propose is that next session, we clear this tower.
Sounds like we got 3 towers to clear next session.
Unfortunately, we do. Plus, this whole portion of the camp.
Well, I will also note that it was several sessions ago that you cleared the other tower.
Magic. Please.
What?
Please.
I mean, you can always go out and look.
Please don't do this to me. This operates on Fallout. On the rules. The rules are once you clear something, it stays clear. Forever.
Alright, I guess this just begs the question. There's
Well, okay,
3 of us left here. Do we want to keep playing or not?
What I can do as Cidian is turned into a swarm of bats to go flying around and take a look.
I mean, as a druid, I can do something similar, but... Oh, actually, I have a spell for this!
Doesn't Lord Morius also have the spell Arcane Eye?
I have Insect Spies.
Is it prepared? Is the thing.
It is.
No. Arcane Eye. I'm looking over his spell list right now. What level spell is that? Shit, he's got a lot of spells. Okay, they're all divided by in alphabetical order. That makes it a lot easier. So imagine Arcane Eye is actually a higher level spell.
Arcane Eye is a 4th level spell.
4th level spell. Okay, Arcane. No, not prepared.
I had Insect Spies prepared. I will use it to scout. I get Insect Spy for 4 levels, so I get 3 Insect Spies. I will press the button to cast a spell. Give me a second, I'm trying to find the button to cast a spell.
I'll assume you're exiting the hut at this point?
After we've rested, obviously.
I mean, we did rest, so we're good.
Right, we did. Okay, so I'm gonna summon some Insect Spies. So I create 3 Insect Spies, and I will send them to go and... Oh, they're only close range? Really? It's disappointing.
Huh?
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
That doesn't make us a lot of sense for a 6th level spell.
Is that how far they can go from you, or is that how far you can cast a spell?
Oh,
I don't know. I'm reading the spell and I'm having a hard time. It doesn't.
Okay, wait a second here. Let's look at Insect Spies.
I am looking at Insect Spies. Magic, does this work the way I think it works, where they get summoned at close range and then they can fly out at my command, or are they tethered to close range?
I'm not entirely certain based off the wording, so I'm doing a side search.
Yeah, because otherwise they'll be kind of useless being spies with their range that limited.
Yeah, that completely missed the range part of the spell, and it is a really bad spell if it's close range.
Well, that's still like quite a distance on any floor if it was that range.
Again.
Okay, give me just a second.
You managed to spot some discarded military equipment inside the first tower.
Okay. I guess I switch senses to my next one.
Alright, we'll do the top tower right-hand side.
Okay.
And your vision again, you see the tower. You do not see anything living or moving, at least as far as your insects can see. So your insect happens to catch a better angle, and you're able to see a little more inside the tower itself. The trap door has been left open. There has been items left discarded, helmets, firearms, and the room is otherwise empty.
I'm starting to get a bad feeling. I checked the next tower.
You find the same thing.
Okay, I will come back to my own senses. I guess I won't dismiss the insect spies or whatever, because they could still be useful, I guess. Alright, so it looks like all the soldiers have cleared out of the towers, which begs the question, where did they go? And are they coming to kill us? And or are they creating a fortified position? And or so many dreadful possibilities.
Well, they could have just deserted.
Do undead Russian soldiers desert very often?
Were they undead?
Oh, were they not? I get so confused. We fight so many things.
The ones you faced in the tower were not undead. They were simply soldiers.
Oh, okay.
I would imagine they got tired of all the, spooky, scary skeletons around and decided to leave.
Have to sneak in the spooky, scary skeletons, eh? Anyways, assuming I accept that logic, let's go to the 2 northern towers and activate them, and hope that nothing horrible happens.
You got it.
Oh, baby, you've got it.
What do you tell Victor?
Morius, we're going to go to the 2 northern towers and get those aligned before we head down to the south. We have not cleared the areas south of us yet. So
He asks you about the soldiers. How are you going to handle them?
Apparently they have deserted.
A strange look crosses his face and he frowns.
Well, at the very least, they weren't there, so we don't know where they went. I don't know how accustomed your Russian citizens are to, well, you've seen what's been going on, so I suppose magic is pretty foreign concept to you.
He shakes his head again. We have our stories, but the soldiers were not here by choice.
What do you mean?
Rasputin had 3 priests he used to compel these men to stay and fight for him.
3 priests?
No. Did they ask him if they had sharp fangs?
What do you mean by priests?
Robed figures came out late at night, visited every soldier every couple of days.
Oh. I think he means I looked over. I think he means a Nosferatu.
Oh, great. They're amassing their forces. Didn't I say something to that effect? I think I said something to that effect.
I turned to him and said, those were vampires. Nosferatu, to be more precise. Well, yes, we've already encountered them. We at least defeated one of them, and they fled. It's possible, then, they may have... If they had the men under their thrall, probably have recalled them to their... wherever their sanctuary is.
Sahu looks at Cidian.
I don't, like... sorry, too many voices. I have no idea where the sanctuary would be.
You sure about that?
Yes.
I mean, they are your daddies.
Never utter the word daddy again.
Alright, so does anyone have the spell Detect Undead prepped today?
Detect undead, huh?
Relevance is questionable, but okay.
I mean, you're gonna find Cidian.
Well, yeah.
Would you believe it's a standard cleric?
Yeah. Which is not prepared, of course.
It's just a 60-foot aura cone,
Yeah.
anyways. Functions like detect magic. It's not super useful.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I have a thought, and this is, tell me if I'm off base here. They turned the bats, right? When we fought them, they turned the bats, they flew up and away?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, code words there. Up and away. What is there that bats like to hide in? Old churches. Could they be up in the tower of the cathedral?
No. They went out of this encampment. They're not here. Didn't they? Wait, no. What am I saying? I was dead.
I was dead. Gold. Pure gold.
You know that's such a surreal statement to say. I was dead. No. But yeah, if I recall the description Megiddo gave, we heard a faraway cry, and it was not nearby, so.
Okay, well, let's just go to the towers then and be ready for them to ambush us. Yeah. Probably at nighttime.
I mean, technically magic, yes, you are correct.
Okay, so the party heads towards the first tower, the one you have already cleared.
Yes, this tower right here.
The trapdoor is open. The ladder is empty. There are a couple scorch marks from your previous fight, but otherwise, it appears you are free to ascend.
You know, something else did occur to me.
What?
It's possible that they may have called the soldiers not.
Not
You
what?
cut out there, Brett.
Uh-oh.
There. Where did I cut out at?
Not.
Oh, not as their own fight, as a fighting force for themselves, but for the pantry.
Oh, right. We did clear out their pantry, didn't we?
And that we did.
And we have killed a large majority of the people here, haven't we?
That we have.
Okay. Well, I take the engineer guy and go up the tower.
Alright. You ascend the tower, and he turns his attention to the panel. From up inside the building, you can see pretty good stretch in every direction. And inside the building, you also find what you saw glimpses of before, which is rifles left lying on the floor, helmets left, on the floor.
Oh, these guys deserted.
And from your position up there, you can no longer see any soldiers in the trenches.
Oh, they deserted.
Alright, that's great. I have
This
a
is
horrible feeling.
I have an even horrible feeling. I think I know where everybody. I think everybody left. As in,
I'm sick of this session too.
well, no, yes, but no. I think everybody's like, so we're not being dominated anymore. Time to desert, and everybody left.
No comment.
So, he works on the panels. I take all the loot, obviously.
And yeah,
Shoveling things into my bags. Me and Perseverance are hella strong. Can carry much loot.
yeah, that's right. I do recall like the entire trenches around us were also manned, weren't they?
Not anymore.
So wow.
Alright, so Victor fiddles with the panel, changing levers and selecting buttons in a way that seems almost haphazard to you, Shaiveen, even with your high UMD skill. And after several minutes of this, the sound of electricity crackles through the room. And he turns to you and says, "We are done here."
You know, this would have been the ideal time for you to betray us, so I'm really happy you didn't.
And those of you on the outside see a beam of cascading electrical energy shoot from the top of the structure above the center of the monastery.
Alright, onwards to the next one.
Alright, you see the same thing there. Discarded weapons and military equipment. The doors open, there's nobody inside. And Victor repeats his calibrations, and after several minutes, another beam of electricity lashes out to the center of the building.
Alright, excellent.
To the south, I suppose?
Alright, to the south.
Oh, this is where things are about to get a little bit hairy.
Let me go ahead and throw Barkskin up on me and Perseverance again.
Okay.
Why is Lord Morius over there? That's not where I want him to be.
As you come to the south, Victor points at this building and says something in Russian.
Hold on here. I am still moving my stuff down, so give me 1 second here.
Yeah, I remember that building. There was tanks in that building.
There were.
Alright, so what did he say in Russian?
Don't go in there. There are tanks.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, we know that. One of our companions went in there and, well, nearly didn't come back out. I think we dealt with what was in there, if I recall.
Goats my goats.
Yeah.
Also,
He nods.
everyone want to get into formation behind me? And on a scale of 1 to 5, how much power should I exert in the next encounter?
Well, maybe we should wait and see what we're actually facing before we make that decision. Don't want to blow your load against, something small,
True enough. Magic dealer, is the door trapped?
You are welcome to roll a perception. Let me see. It is. It is in fact trapped, and as you stand out there, Victor shouts something in Russian again.
And okay, what did he say?
The door is electrified. He points over to the potato. The wall over to the left here and says, must be disabled.
I relay that. Apparently the wall has electricity coursing through it.
Disable device?
The engineer takes off walking to the left and goes over to a small box on the far wall over here, opens it up and flips what looks like almost an oversized fork. And there are sparks, and he walks back over and waves at the gate.
It should be safe now.
Are we all in a position we're happy with behind me?
I think so. I like where Cidian is, of course, Morius and Iggy being the back is safe, so...
Hold a second. Just wanna... There we go.
Me and Purrserverence lock eyes, we give a little nod, we give a little shimmy, and we throw ourselves against the doors, busting them open.
The doors being unlocked swing open almost comically easy as you throw yourselves against it and then stagger forward a couple extra steps.
But we did a little dance first, which is important.
Victor clears his throat, points, and speaks again.
Alright, I see. Okay. That building over there.
Bear Hunter is inside. She likes to leave traps. Stay clear.
Okay. Apparently there's someone called a bear hunter likes to leave traps around, so we have to be on our guard.
Okay.
Deal.
I asked Victor again, is there anything else we need to be wary of in this area?
He shrugs. Depends on if the soldiers are still inside.
If they are, much like what we've seen, probably not. But who knows? Depends on if this bear hunter's been able to keep them in line.
Okay, so we're gonna skirt around the bear hunter's house, or...
I would like to kill the bear hunter.
Alright, so you want to walk into a trap master's house. Do you see why I'm having an issue with your statement?
No.
So I have this thing, it's called Druidic Wisdom. And I'm going to tell you that when a hunter sets a whole bunch of traps, you walk into those traps, you're an idiot.
You see, I have this thing called wisdom, and it's telling me you're a dumbass.
I have an 18 to my wisdom. I think I'm pretty wise.
What are you going to shoot all the traps, like in Fallout?
Yes. I have enough bullets.
Do you have the perception?
21 to perception is not too bad, not too shabby. I also have you to point them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I found a flaw in that plan.
What?
Alright, party vote. There's only 3 of us here, so this is easy. Do we hunt down the bear hunter, or do we just disable the fucking towers? Brett, my opinion has been made clear. Ironbite has been made clear. You're the deciding vote.
Well, I control 3 players. I control 3 PCs, so each one gets a vote.
That's not how that works. I'm bringing back Rahu, and I'm summoning an Ivan Block.
No, one vote's for it, one vote's against, and now there's only one left to make the tiebreaker. What's it gonna be?
I think we wait until Mike gets back.
So skirt around, or just literally stops the game here?
I think this is probably good places to pause for right now.
Alright, we can stop here if y'all want.
Can you send Brett loot information from the towers that we looted? Since he watches our loot lists.
Well, yeah, it looks like we're going to be ending tonight's session here because Mike is not here, and I don't think it's right to be making such a large judgment call over our next actions without him being here. So, yeah, I would kind of like to maybe fight this person, and I gotta say, I'm pretty sure it's going to be in any eventuality that we will have to. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching. Good night.